All right, Forest Night.
Hmm.
Ooh. I like it.
Nice. Yeah, we gotta. I might not do like a ton of different ones. Like I'll probably always keep like the same battle music or something. But like like having ambient sounds for the forest, maybe ambient for the um, town. Might try to do stuff like that.
Well, I think that's a fantastic idea. So who's going to be the
And
the one who
and
digs up the music?
yeah, Oz, if you don't mind, I really appreciated
I'm
you
looking at
doing
the
some
most
searches.
downloaded
He's already looking.
from
Perfect.
I like it.
Incompetech because that's the only top chart that I can find on this part. It doesn't sort the other ones very well. Let's see, just generic peaceful music. The top chart is called wholesome.
That sounds like us.
It's really subdued, and that's the wrong word? But maybe unobtrusive.
Unobtuse.
Okay, there we go.
That too.
That's the word that would come to mind. That's all I'll say.
All those
All right,
settings are completely messed though.
and we're on, and yeah, until I realized what you were doing, Elitist, I definitely thought that was like some kind of water pipe you were about to put up to your face.
Oh
And I
no.
was like, what is going on?
Nope.
I'm like, oh no, it's a 3D print. He's things up.
I'm working on a golden gun.
What
Who's
Nice.
golden gun?
Ace of Spades as a golden gun.
is that a thing that happens?
It's
It
one of
has a
the
skill.
hunter's abilities is
You
golden
can
gun.
gild weapons.
Oh right, that is one of the hunter
Is
abilities.
this a destiny thing?
Duh.
Probably.
Yes.
Okay.
If he's 3D printing a fake gun, not a real gun. He's
Not a
I'm
real
gonna
gun.
get him.
It's a
gun.
fake gun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
FYI for the
I'm gonna
internet.
try and get you to make a Warframe sidearm someday.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Because there's one that's really popular.
What's it called?
It's called Atomos. It's basically a plasma cutter that's been repurposed for combat,
Okay, let me write this down.
and
How's it?
it's like a flamethrower up to 20 feet. Atomos.
All right, Sarah's back with us. Are we
Hi.
ready
I think you'd
to
think it's cool.
open the stream audio up so that I can try to
Stream
do my
audio
best?
is up, so they've heard us kind of idle chattering.
All right, cool. Well, in that case, I first want to say welcome everybody. Obviously, we have a guest tonight. Welcome our friend Savvy. Savvy knows everyone. Little C, Oz. Oh my gosh, what do you Rocket and Leadist, myself, and Jared. Hopefully we'll have our sixth player join us soon. The Great Bear Spirit, and the idea was thrown out for us before the stream that we would do a recap. But because it's been 3 weeks since we have played as a group online, I thought about going a little farther back, and then it was suggested that we go even farther back from the beginning. So I would like to accept that challenge and maybe bring us up to Wave Echo Cave, and then see what people can do to tell us maybe what happened from there. All right. Maybe see if somebody wants to try and gain a little inspiration to do the last session 3 weeks ago. So, like extra inspiration. It'll be really good. It's going to be the same inspiration. All right. So our party, now known as Sparkle Motion, but at the time a loose band of adventurers, got together were hired by a knight and a dwarf in the town of Neverwinter. Sparkle Gem was not with everyone yet, as she had just been, as we later found out, she was magically put to sleep in a bag, and no one ever woke her up. So she was carried around for a while until someone decided to poke her and wake her up. The party was hired to escort some goods to a mining town of Phandalin, with the promise of having some more work in the mine after they completed that. However, on the way to deliver those things, they found evidence that their employers had been perhaps kidnapped. They followed the trail into the woods, encountering a series of goblins in a cave. There were uh, competing goblins for trying to gain leadership over the cave and hoping to someday take over the castle. But the party quickly cleared out all of the tasks there and rescued the knight. On the way, they then escorted him and the goods back to the town, knowing that the other employer had been kidnapped and taken to a different location. In town, the party met a variety of different people, from the owner of the inn to the local merchants to the arms dealers to the miner exchange and several others. They encountered a series of villainous types in town who were uh, thugging it up and and shaking people down for their money, and then eventually escalating to killing townspeople and kidnapping townspeople. At which point, the party decided to intervene and rout them. They were rewarded for taking care of those creatures, and then or taking care of those people, and that gang ran them out of town, even chasing them actually at the very end in an attempt to not let them go. Um, Afterwards, the party then followed their leads uh, to where they believed that their employer was being held. At which point, they encountered a castle in the woods, which was being housed and run by goblins. In an insanely chaotic battle that alerted the entire castle to their presence, streams of goblins coming at them, they eventually stood victorious with the assistance of definitely a certain magical potion that summoned a rainbow luminous slime, a creature that started consuming all of the bodies of the goblins around the castle. They then also encountered the king of the goblins at the time. I believe you had a goblin friend with you in the party, after which point you took the crown from that king and gave it to your goblin friend, who followed you around for a while as you guys went back to town and found out about some more things that were going on in the area. Made a deal um, with your employer, the owner of a lost mine that he had found, to clear out the cave in exchange for a percentage of what the mine earns. And let's see, and then taking on some missions from the local representative of the Lord's Alliance, Sparkle Motion, now named, went to help take care of many of the dangers on the countryside. There was some guidance and assistance from a muscle-bound wizard known as Herda Roshi, who they followed up and
We blew his
went
house
and
up.
to go and get his magical wood, because you burnt his house to the ground when you found him. Although, of course, before doing that, you did find him encased in stone, and luckily you had the means necessary to turn him back. He accompanied you to find his magical wood, at which point you guys followed his direction to an encampment of orcs and an ogre, and you faced it. Was it an ogre? Yeah. Yeah, you guys faced an ogre. And then, in the most creative thing that I've seen the party do, you traversed a boat across 20 miles of land. It's bravo. Definitely, I was impressed with the ingenuity that required, and that you were able to do with the tools and skills you had available to you. Once again, bravo there. After returning his magical wooden boat to be his new home, you guys then continued off in handling some other adventures. There was an encounter with a banshee who you asked some questions and flattered into submission, I guess, in a way, which was tons of fun. After that, you guys went to investigate rumors of zombies that were at a nearby ruins of an old well, which turned out to be the ruins of an old wizard's tower, as a necromancer was there using his zombie horde to excavate what was underneath. After believing that you killed this necromancer, you were faced with a decision to swear fealty to a newly crowned goblin king, several pieces of magical puzzle coming together in that moment, of which the party did swear fealty to the goblin king, and by proxy Gramouche. And upon entering that portal to this temple and defeating the creatures within, found a sentient magical item that threatened one of your lives for a short period of time, and then attached to your new your goblin friend, who is now the new goblin king. Upon exiting that and him marching off into the woods, you guys realized that a lot of time had passed. The seasons were different. And upon arriving back in town, you were able to figure out, actually, I believe, like on the way, you encountered some adventurers, and you were able to figure out that it had been about 2.5 years. So the 15 minutes or so that you guys were in that temple ended up translating to a lot of time outside in the dimension we call the real world, I suppose. Coming back to town, you found that a lot of things were different. The rumors of dragon cultists in the area had turned to news of a dragon in the area that, oddly, none of the major cities or lords in the area were doing anything about. And then you also heard some rumors that Wave at Coquet, something strange was happening there, as the original plan for what was supposed to happen with that did not. Your employer Gundren had seemed to change his mind once you disappeared and come back. Upon going there to investigate, the part Sparkle Motion, now well and widely known, as years had told of their legend, and so everyone knows of the legend of Sparkle Motion and everyone's extreme dedication to the group. And you guys made it to Wave Echo Cave. You encountered a series of challenges, adversaries, and a lot of combat in this very dangerous ancient cave. You found a magical forge, which is currently not working. Thankfully, for everyone involved, as the man who had been orchestrating a lot of the things and issues that were happening in town, like the goblin raids, like the thugs and gang in town, who was there attempting to use it. Sparkle Motion soundly defeated him and his minions. And as you were escaping with your lives, does anybody want to pick up from there? Let's see if you can remember what happened in the last session.
Anybody?
The last session, we were able to get everyone out of the cave. We did encounter that, I think it was called like a yellow ochre slime thing that had startled the Stegosaurus, but we did not actually fight it. We got everyone out of the cave, and we started found Camilla Anderson, as well as our horse, and we started back. I think
Did we feed the animals before leaving? Do you
we.
remember?
I did feed the animals. Godwald started reading the letters, and that's when we kind of found out that the letters weren't talking about Yarno. They were talking about what the hell's his name? The necromancer who is still alive. I have his name written down somewhere here.
Lord Cost.
Cost, yeah. And yeah, so we kind of figured that out. We had also kind of were coming up with a plan about once we get back to Phandalin, obviously realizing that the lady posing as what's her name?
Halia.
Halia was clearly a doppelganger, so we were planning on trying to do something about that. And then also, I had wanted to go back after we returned them to safety to finish the job of clearing out the mine so that we would get, our cut of everything and also, help them to be able to use the actual forge properly. I would also like my armor to not. I would also be like the 3 magical items I'm wearing not to be wild magic.
probably good for everybody. So there
Yeah.
was there was one thing that we forgot was the banshee.
He brought up the banshee.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you guys. I said you guys flattered her into submission.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I was able to cast Druidcraft, I think, and was able to talk to her and make her feel pretty or something. I don't remember.
You so
Yeah,
smooth.
Some sweet talking with some flowers, and yeah, made her feel pretty. Yeah, you guys received those letters, which they're there in the chat. Since they're probably the most recent bit of a lore drop, I can go ahead and read those real quick if you want. There was a letter to the fifth hand, but of course it was in an envelope, wax sealed, with the Emperor Lord's Alliance, addressed to someone in Tribor. And then there was another envelope inside of that addressed to the fifth arm of Lolth. And you guys know Lolth as the Spider Queen deity. And that read, Lady Fifth, the Thay Wizard's spells seem to be genuine, though the use of human skin was surprising, but ironically fitting for such magic. I do not wish to succumb to his demands to come in person, but his knowledge of the necrotic arts seems necessary to fulfill your desires, as the Forge's magic is difficult to decipher. I formally request my brother in arms be sent to escort him to my location from the ruins of Thunder Tree. And then it also said, my spies report the fools known as Sparkle Motion have once again been seen in Phandalin. They will soon be lured into my trap, and I will remove this pebble that impedes your path. And it was signed with the mark of the Black Spider.
Worked out real good for him.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, if he'd have gotten these letters off, might have been a different situation later. There was a second letter that was simply addressed to Cost in Thunder Tree, and it wrote, Lord Cost, it seems your presence is indeed required to resolve the complications with the Forge. The spell you sent has proven effective, and as such, we formally accept the terms for your services. I request your patience. Soon, an escort will arrive to bring you, and you alone, to us. So you guys have both of those letters, though the seals are broken. And yeah, that was the last bit. Other than that, you were on the way back to Phandalin, and as the sun was setting and you were approaching, Forest Night, did that play? There we go. As you are approaching, the sun has at this point set. You're still a bit out of the ways from town, but the last thing I remember, the party was discussing what to do when they arrive.
Okay, so I would like
So,
to
we can take from
address the party. Um, they're gonna know we're back in town as soon as we get there, so we're gonna have to head to that doppelganger right away before she's tipped off. Before it's tipped off. So I don't want to let that slip through our fingers. That could be a lead to something that we've needed to get to. Some of the this intrigue could be peeled away by whatever that doppelganger knows.
Well, what time of day are we getting back? Do we
The
know?
sun has set, and you're still about a mile or so from town.
Okay, so we're gonna be getting back, and it's winter, so it's probably maybe like 5 p.m. ish.
Yeah,
Okay.
5 p.m., 6
So,
p.m. somewhere. You don't have like a watch or anything, but yeah,
yeah,
roughly.
I would assume. Um, okay. Well, so I guess I would ask, who would know we're gonna be back as soon as we get there?
Halia chimes in. She says, "Yeah, I assume that if the doppelganger sees any of us, that any kind of cover we have will be blown, since they can read minds.
Hmm.
And so it'll be tough. I think getting the drop on them is a good idea." She looks at Jerk and gives him a wink.
Yes. No, I agree. I'm trying to think. So should we park outside of town and like make our way in on foot? Um, what like do we want to go straight to your shop?
Well, I think definitely the miners' exchange is positioned so that people coming from the mountains from the south are first seen, and it's the first stop for them. So
And
if we spend some time, maybe come from the north with the cart, or perhaps park the cart and try to quietly approach the town as visibly as possible. Those sound like good ideas.
Um,
veering
we're about an hour out of town.
an hour, a bit faster than a mile per hour.
That's fair. I mean,
Yeah,
it,
you can't quite see town yet, but you know the path is leading you up to about that area where you'll be
Probably.
nearby.
I mean,
Yeah, actually, you're
so
guys coming from an elevated location. You might be able to see town.
We would
Wait.
definitely like if we're gonna camp out, we want to make sure we're far enough away that anybody scouting around wouldn't stumble on us either.
Yeah, I'm worried about Snoops.
do we want to
Halia,
camp out of
Right.
town before we go?
Did we ever do a long rest after the big fight?
No.
you did
I-
after the big fight. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we should be
You
pretty.
guys locked yourselves in that room, and
Yeah. I'm all good.
yeah, everybody should have pressed that
Good bit.
long rest button on their sheets.
Oh yeah, I should
Oh yeah,
probably
because
just
otherwise
check
we
that.
wouldn't
Huh?
have leveled.
Yeah.
Take another puff of my pipe.
Um. So Sparkle Gem would.
If we're coming in from the north, if we're gonna try and come in from the north, and I'm gonna like start veering the cart off the path and like trying to find the best way to kind of go out and around town to come back in from the north side of town.
Might take a little bit longer, but you could definitely like take some extra time to go through there. It would be night, like probably a pretty dark night by the time you arrive.
I think it's probably best
Um.
we come in under the cover of night.
Mhm.
So
Well, with it
I'm down with that.
with it being night, I personally have some other business I could attend to real quick, and you guys could easily handle a doppelganger by yourself.
So Halia kind of chimes in. if the doppelganger is impersonating me, then it's very likely he's been holding to the same patterns that I would hold, where he works at the miners' exchange during the day, but then heads to my house at night. And she then describes the location of her home in relation to. Oh, come on, let me.
And go home.
In relation to there. I mean, he's been impersonating me for what now, 2.5 years? Like he's in order to do that, must be working the miners' exchange as if it were my business still, and I can't imagine not staying in my home. Otherwise, the townspeople would have gotten wise, seen something amiss. And I just added Halia's house to the map there. Of course, I spelled Halia wrong. Whew, fix that. Whew, close one. Oh man, big concern for everyone. I know. Also,
Load.
if you guys noticed, I didn't have time to make this map like a whole lot larger so that we could do stuff on it. And I realized I could have probably done it fairly easily, but I added interiors to all of the buildings.
Oh, did
So
you?
if you can see, the buildings you haven't been in should be blacked out, and the buildings that you have been in, if you zoom in, you can now see the interiors of those buildings.
That's really cool.
Yay, more detail.
Ooh.
House. Oh, there we go.
Been a busy, busy boy.
Just wanted to get things ready.
All right, so he would probably be, well, they would probably be at Halia's house right now. Then that's the idea.
If he's following my patterns and he's impersonating me, there's a good chance once he closes the shop that he goes back to my house.
Well, what do you suggest?
Or it, I suppose.
It's a jerk. So, what do you? Any ideas? What do you suggest? Should we go to your house and catch it off guard? Should we lay low and wait till the morning and
Is there
surprise
potential
it?
for any innocence getting in the way of the fight?
Well, what information do we know? It seems fairly likely that they're working alone, but do we know that? Do we know that they're not working alone?
We do not know that for a fact.
Okay, but we don't have any evidence to suggest otherwise.
No, not
Okay.
right now.
Do we have any idea if any clues of things that the Black Spider might have been carrying on him or had in his vicinity that may have given us some clue as to how they exchange information? Maybe like the magical paper birds or anything really.
As far as we can tell, it's just been letters. Unless anybody else can think anything else that we missed.
I'll pull the arcane focus out of my pocket and be like, well, we at least have this as well.
I think at this point I'm wearing a signet ring. Just cause.
Did I ever get his spell book, or did he get away with
Sick
his spell
power
book?
play is that jerk?
Hey,
Yarno?
you know-
Yarno's still in the thing with you.
You know I
have-
like my
do you have
trophies.
the Black Spider spell? Yes.
Yeah.
Jerk had it, and it was locked. And then when he pulled at the lock, the book glowed. So you haven't opened it yet.
Okay. I kind of want to mess around with that spell book before we get into town, but
Only if you say please.
please, can I cast Identify on the spell book and find out like what's keeping it locked?
Sure.
Jerk, give me a quick perception roll.
Oh God, I haven't done this in a while.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Also, I need my character sheet up so I can. You said perception?
Mhm.
Wow, that went up. 11.
With your attention focused on Halia and your conversation with her, you notice that she, although definitely sprung up to the challenge of getting out of Wave Echo Cave and was on it, she does seem weakened, a bit thin, black bags around her eyes. She's pretty tired. She seems like she's a little exhausted. So
All right. Well, maybe we should
throwing that in there.
camp out. It doesn't look like we're all at 100%. So if we stop here, we can surprise the doppelganger in the morning. But I feel like we should all get a good rest before we head into the fray. We never know what's going to happen. We tend to cause trouble whenever we show up. So
Funny.
Well,
I'll be back in a few.
Well, there should
We're-
be one of you.
we're about a mile outside of town.
if we pull off into the woods just a little bit, I don't think we'll be noticed.
I'm just saying that.
Uh-oh.
You guys are outside. If you're still running the cart, did you stop the cart to discuss this?
I mean,
Buffering.
Right.
You froze up,
Skip
Bear.
yeah, I know. My internet connection recently has been having like massive packet loss for no reason.
Oh.
That stinks.
All right. Well, let me see here.
I don't. But I'm.
No, you're cutting out, man. I hear, but I'm nothing. And your video is pretty skippy.
You know, I do have a sending stone too that we got from the spider, so they may have been communicating with that. We only found one.
Oh yeah, there's got to be a second stone.
Now, how do these work? If I yell into it, if the other's nearby, will I hear it?
Hey!
What?
Hello! Hello!
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
So with the sending stone, you do activate it in order to speak through it.
So how? That's how they've. So I show that to Halia. I'm like, this is probably another way they've been communicating besides letters.
Okay. So with that, that's almost definitely the way they were communicating. It makes a lot of sense. That way they don't have to send a person to and from the mine in order to potentially exposing the location. They have gone to great lengths to keep it to themselves. So much so as even impersonating me so that other people couldn't, you know, find the location to make claims.
Hmm.
That could put us on a timetable too. We don't really know how often they communicated through it, but we might also be able to use it as a way to help surprise it. Can anyone make their voice sound like another creature, or make this head talk. And she holds up the black spider head on the end of that stick, that staff.
Forgot about
Hmm.
that.
She's like, perhaps we could
What
make
if?
it. Perhaps we could make him speak to him through the stone.
I mean, minor illusion allows me to create sounds and that type of thing, but I don't know if it would be.
Hmm. We could have. We could have Yarno ask for help dealing with sparkle motion.
Oh,
Have it drawn out of turn. I
Holly
like.
gives an eye over to him, and as you guys turn to look at Arno, he kind of, whatever you guys want me to do, um, I think you're right. He used that to communicate with him. He was pretty secretive, but I occasionally heard him speaking to himself. I just thought he was a little crazy bull.
Well, he was definitely crazy, but this could you might win some points, buddy. You need all the points you can get.
Hmm. Let's see. We've been gone for that long. So that's half a plan. That's half a plan.
uh,
Let's see.
should we pressure him or?
No, he's already agreed. That's
Okay.
not what I'm thinking about.
So what should we have him
So
say?
He is bound and shackled. You know,
it's like if we have
both the
Yarno
manacles that were holding
tell
two of them together,
Doppelganger that
cuffed around him.
sparkle motion thinks something's up and has sent people back to get more intel, and then we have Sparkle Gem meet with the Doppelganger.
Well, no, I would be the contact with Halia.
Yeah, that does make more sense.
And Holly looks at you. She goes, "But as soon as he starts questioning you, the thoughts in your mind, if they're anything about along the lines of, I know what you are, or I don't know, covers
I remember
coverage
us.
alone, it's very hard to deceive a doppelganger."
Yeah, I won't.
Didn't we have?
I
Didn't
won't
we
be
have
able to
something
do
like
that.
months ago that?
Oh, the ring.
Yeah, that's a thing that exists.
So Sparkle Gem might be the one to go.
That's a whole plan.
That is a whole plan.
So then, what are we doing after? You gonna just kind of show up and shake his hand?
With knives.
Well, first we need to get as much intel as we can, and then we shake hands with knives. So you up for that, Sparkle?
Well, I think we just need to lay a trap to capture him. I definitely want to take him alive. He's impersonated me for 2 years, and I also don't want the townspeople to know that I've been impersonated for this long. If they find out, they're gonna know that they're not gonna trust the miners' exchange anymore. I'll lose my entire business, and they've already stolen 2.5 years of my life and abused me.
Maybe we should do it now.
Are you up for it? You're looking kind of haggard. Beautiful as ever, but haggard.
I'm moving a little slowly. I might not be at the top of my game, but there's so many of us, and probably only one of them.
Probably.
Are you guys really worried about a doppelganger being able to read your thoughts when your thought is, I know you're a doppelganger?
Ask that question again with the same words, and And you may notice it answers itself.
Ex-
It is kind
I
of a
think
recruitment
was that her point?
yeah, that was more like a sarcastic, like, hey guys, you do realize like the ring's not necessarily needed here, and you guys can handle one
Well, no,
doppelganger.
the thing is, we're trying not to let on that we know it's a
Oh, that we don't.
doppelganger. Yeah, you
Then
missed
yeah,
the whole
I'll
point of.
go.
You're the one who's supposed to be into subterfuge and spycraft.
Clandestine.
I know. I am the spy of our group. God damn it.
So what's the plan here? She's gonna walk up, say hi, and then you're gonna jump him anyways. Why
Well,
are we bothering with
I
that?
figured we were
Why don't we
gonna
just
get.
cover all the exits of my house, like verify where it is, cover the exits of the building that it's in, and enter and capture it.
All
Well,
right,
that's just a lot simpler. Yeah.
fuck it. Let's Leroy Jenkins this shit.
Where do you keep your spare key?
You guys
That's how I do it.
always Leroy Jenkins this.
We gave
Why
you
not?
the chance, and you just said you didn't
I
know what
know.
to do.
I know.
You
I
thought we
know,
were
I'm just
idiots
saying.
for suggesting
Okay.
it.
So it's the middle of the night. Let's just go and do a siege.
Surprise, motherfucker. Some fries, motherfucker.
That was actually the next thing I was gonna say.
Is that what they taught you to say in Neverwinter?
She basically goes, she's like,
I'm not sure what it means. It's an ancient tongue.
if we can identify what building that he's in. She's like, the miners' exchange. The miners' exchange has an entrance and an exit in the back, a couple windows. If we could cover the windows, cover the entrance exits, enter at the same time. My house is the same situation, a front door and a back door, with only two windows. If
Well-
we can identify what building it's in, surround it, and enter. Do we have a net? Do we have anything that we can try to capture it with? Or are we gonna have to... And she kind of gives her knuckles a little crack. Are we gonna have to try and knock it out the old-fashioned way?
I like the old-fashioned way.
It's the only way.
You guys
So
have
she's
fun.
she raises her hand. She's like, I favor the simplicity
Unbelievable.
and the effective path. But if you guys want to add more to this, perhaps we'll take your idea, surprising them with the sending stone. Maybe we start speaking to it through the sending stone, and it will be shocked. That could be a great moment to jump in and surprise it.
It'd also
You
be
could still have someone.
a good way to
walk
find
in.
out where exactly it is, too. As opposed to just taking our chances and finding out.
Your friend with the mind shielding ring that you described could go up to the front door, knock on the door, and as it answers, it wouldn't be able to read her mind about the plan. Then we could try and jump it. Same idea.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll do it. But then right afterwards, I got my own business to attend to.
That's fine. Your business can wait for a couple minutes.
Fine.
All right. So DM asking the party. What's the plan? What are you guys doing?
That's the plan.
You're about a mile southwest of the town.
Sounds
I
like we're
like-
going in
yeah.
and busting a head. Or multiple
Okay.
heads.
So it's night. Do we check work or home first?
Are you going around from the north? Are you coming down? Holly told you that if it's impersonating her at night, she would go back to her house and do her business. Of course, it's possible it has other business going on. If it's during the day, then if it's impersonating her, it's definitely going to be at the miners' exchange. But there might also be people around during the day.
Well, then we don't want to do it tonight. Should we send Sparkle to check and then get ourselves prepared and kind of out of the way.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, I'm gonna roll stealth to see how close I can get without thinking I might be compromised.
Okay. So wait. What direction are you guys heading from?
Hmm.
Coming from the south? You gonna sneak up from the south?
I mean, well,
Yeah.
looks like both places are close to the south exit, and with this the plan, that sounds like a good plan.
Yep. South.
Who's got proficiency in investigation or survival?
I've got investigation.
I'm not
So
proficient, but I have a +3 in investigation.
Nope.
okay.
Not proficient.
I think Taliesin is, but he's not with us right now. On survival, at least.
Mhm.
I will roll for him and his poor internet connection.
Oh, is he having internet issues?
Yeah, he's not.
Oh
There.
yes.
See, and he's a +6 in it. All right, I'm gonna roll for him.
Okay.
On survival. And you want to roll on intelligence? All right, see if you can beat that. I'll just tell you, Talison's able to kind of identify as like, guys, there's not a lot of tree cover coming from the south. It's like basically the forest is kind of given way, and really it's getting up into the hills where there's not a lot in. If we come in from the north and we take the time to go around, we could at least like either drop the cart off outside of town, drop the cart off at Barthen's, and then use the buildings as cover as we approach.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We've got
Yeah.
the time.
Poor Taliesin.
All right. Yeah, it stinks. It's still showing up in Roll20 though. I find it interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Oh,
have two
and
as
his portrait came back in Discord.
Yeah, he said he's here.
It's been like that for a little while.
Yeah, he
Okay.
can either see us or
He's
Maybe
watching
he
the
can
stream.
hear us.
Don't
Yeah.
know if anyone can
Oh,
hear me.
we can hear
Hey,
you.
For the first
got
time.
him. Taliesin, you just rolled a survival check and identify that there's not a lot of tree cover coming from the southwest, but you suggested that coming from the north and using the buildings as cover as you approach those either the miners' exchange or Halia's house
And it was a
might
good
be
suggestion.
a way to go. You rolled very high in a survival check I did for you.
So we're gonna go with it.
Yeah, we did hear first a second. All right, so if you guys take a little bit more time, kind of are gonna go take the long way around. There's not really like a path that goes through there, so it does take you, or like an hour and a half or so. So the sun is well set, dusk has passed, and you are now under the cover of night. You can come up by through Barthen's if you like, or whatever you guys tell me.
Everybody's so quiet tonight. What is going on?
Yeah.
Well, my internet I keep getting like massive ping spikes is what's going on with me.
Well, I don't want to go to Barthen's because I don't want to let on that we're here yet. I think that would be detrimental.
I mean, it's night.
Yeah, but you never know. People can run pretty fast, and that's not a far travel.
So you guys want to go around from the north, leave the cart outside of town, and travel on foot for a mile or so, or a
That's
half mile or so?
That wouldn't take too long.
Yeah, that's my vote.
Okay. All right. So whoever's proficient in survival, roll me a survival check to see
Can't
if you
be
can
me.
find a
Sorry,
good
guys.
place to put the cart.
That's Taliesin
It's
again.
probably Bear.
Is he not with us? Did we lose him again? Damn
he
it.
receives.
Yeah, I said he can hear
Oh.
everything.
Oh, there he is
Sweet. Look at that, 17.
again.
Yeah, you're able to find a nice grove of trees that oh wow, his first one would have been a lot better. If he was +6 on that.
Casting stat.
Right, because of me. So yeah, basically you're able to find a grove of trees where you can hide the cart and Kamala Anderson and the ram and your horse and tie them all up there and make your way in town by foot. Um, as you approach, the buildings on the outside of town have their lanterns lit, so going down the main path is a little more lit than off. Give me some pings on which way you're coming, which way you want to go. Yeah, I have you on this map too, right? I'm not just staring at Phandalin and you guys are staring at the other piece. Thank God. I know I do that sometimes.
I'm looking at Phandalin with all the house interiors blacked off.
Yeah. So give me some pings on where you're coming from here.
What do you think, guys?
Uh, so, let's see, that's probably a bad idea. We can just see that's still flat. What was that noise?
Somebody leaving or joining the Discord?
At the same time?
All at
Maybe.
the same time.
Huh, weird.
Might have been a
I need to step away before I break something. Okay. Prepare stepped away.
Let's see, if we're coming in from the north, I see that my house is near here. Do I know this area well enough to, like, know some parts between houses we could cut through or stuff to stay off the main roads? I grew up here.
Yeah, I mean, you have a pretty good way to come from the north, probably. And
Are these fields right here like
you know,
crops?
if you come from this direction to go back to your house, like a place in the, there might be the place in the fence where you used to go through to sneak out of town or something as a kid.
Yeah.
To get in from this direction to get to your house.
That would
From
be nuts.
there, I mean, I would say both Jerk also with some of his class features or his background feature actually is pretty good at figuring out ways between buildings and things. So if you guys collectively want to roll me some between the two of you survival checks, see if you can find a decent path that's not lit by torches and things like that.
all right.
Either one of you can do it, or with advantage, or you can both roll.
Let's have bear roll with advantage.
It was
Oh, you mean
Godwald or Jerk.
Oh, well, what's your
Godwald
Mine's
and
better.
Godwald and
cast with
Popier know the town,
okay?
and you have a
The class
you have a
perk
background
side,
feature.
yeah. What's your survival?
+4. It's my casting stat.
Use it with advantage.
Also, I want to get other people rolling. So
Okay, you commit to
Die on the
resisting, and I do this. And okay.
Sorry.
I don't know if
What
that's a good
are
omen or a
the
bad one.
odds?
yeah, so it's with your
fine.
hometown, you have a pretty good thought that you can, you can come down this direction, cut across back through the inn maybe, or even let's see at yours. To come back in this way where there's less light. Get around to the back of this building here, where you could be about here and be in line of sight of the Miners Exchange.
Okay.
Who all is going on this adventure? You guys have two dwarves who are still under a bit of suffering some PTSD from their near-death experience. Halia is with you, but she's showing obvious signs of exhaustion. There's the 5 of you in the party, plus you have 1 prisoner in Iarno.
Well,
Who's going? Who's staying? What's your plan?
I'm gonna try to get up as close to the.
I'm going to be honest. I think our best plan is to leave all 3 civilians, the captive, and Pubert, the least sneaky of us all, to guard them.
Okay.
I kind of agree, as much as I resent that.
And the rest of us, the rest of the 4 of us, go on this adventure.
Okay. That sounds like a good option to me as well.
Okay.
I wish Bear were here so he could cast Pass Without Trace.
I know, right? I wonder if he got that router rebooted. No, doesn't look like it. Why is it that people always just like don't want to do that step? But then my internet goes down. It's like, yeah, but it's shit right now.
That's usually the first thing I do.
It should be, but and people always want to figure out something else first.
All
But
right.
all right,
I'll roll stealth.
man, if he could hear us, yeah, exactly. But he's not in the call. He's still in roll 20.
But roll 20 is weird that way.
My stealth is a 26.
You're rolling it with Pass Without Trace?
No,
He's
without.
just expertise.
Oh, that's just your plus 10 is just your stealth?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's
Jesus.
Well,
so his
my
main stat's a
my
+4.
sleight of
his
hand
charisma
is a plus
+3.
12.
And that's,
Okay.
well, you have a magic item for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a magic item for that one. But alrighty then.
So who's all rolling stealth?
Everybody who's going on the mission, everybody who's staying back. It sounds like Pubert is going to guard the captive and the 2
The poor
the 2
dwarves.
civilians, and Halia being told that she should stay back. She denies this. She's like, "There's no way." She's like, "There's no way I'm staying here. I might be a little tired and beat up. I might not be able to move as fast as you. Maybe if it goes and it runs, someone else needs to go after him. But I need to be there. Besides, like, if he's in the miners' exchange, I can get into my house, get my bug bag and some of my equipment.
Okay.
Not to mention," and she holds up, "not to mention, I have this wand of magic missiles and these boots of springing and striding that came from the other doppelganger that you killed. I'm equipped fairly well." So she's in to come with you.
Okay.
She wants revenge, basically, and to capture this guy.
Well, I understand that. Okay, so what's the order here?
She does take the head of the black spider attached to that staff, and she goes to Pubert and says, "I need you to hold on to this for me. I'm gonna need this head later."
What does
I'll,
Bear do?
He'll just kind of anybody, you know what, give me perception roll. If I am allowed to request that.
You want to see if Halia notices something about you?
Oh no, just anybody who.
Oh, okay. Well, I rolled for Halia because he said, "Give me."
Oh,
So
okay.
I just assumed you were talking to me, so I apologize.
Oh, I was talking about anybody who notices, basically, like, to anybody who's not really paying attention, Pubert just kind of, stoically looks and takes it and looks honored to be holding it. But you can tell that there's a little bit of, just a hint of trepidation that he's being asked to hold on to a head.
Not super into the head idea.
Like, just,
All right.
yes, I will definitely do this without throwing up or puking or having any trouble keeping my latest meal down.
I'm not so sure I believe that.
Just need to make sure that it doesn't, it doesn't go anywhere. Nobody takes it. It's like, I really need to find a jar for this thing, but we'll worry about that.
Yes, you do.
I've got a jar, but it's full of teeth and a dead sprite and.
I don't don't know if it's gonna fit a head. You need a big jar for a head.
Upon listening to this, Hubert starts to wonder if he's in the right party. I happen to be a noble paladin of the Lord's Alliance. I collect teeth and dead pixies in jars. I'm
Here, hold
holding
this
on to
head for me.
heads.
Hold this head for me. I need it. I need it when I get back. All right, so you guys leave the civilians and Pubert along with the Black Spider's head and Iarno in cuffs. Iarno is fairly subdued and has resigned his fate. You've taken away all of his magical stuff, and he
Excuse me.
is fairly exhausted. Halia does gag him with a bit of like torn cloth from what she's wearing, the rags that she's wearing. She rips off apart and throws around his mouth, and he's like, just in case he's regained any of his magic from resting. And then you guys head out. Do I have stealth rolls? And shall we? We're gonna do Taliesin cast pass without trace, provided he has that on his prepared. He does. Boom. Taliesin has cast pass without trace. Unless, of course, he did it before, because he had one slot used in second level. So, all right, plus 10 on top of your rolls.
36.
So 36. Stealth with pass without trace. 28. Talison's buff is Talison's stealth. This is going to be a straight roll plus Sparkle Gem. Looking at a hot 44.
Holy shit.
No, that 4 is plus 10. Okay, so 34. So we got a 36, a 28, a 34, and Talison's this plus 10, and a 29. You guys are quieter than all of the crickets and the birds off in the distance in the trees as winter is ending and life seems to be coming back to the area surrounding the Neverwinter Wood. Silently and deftly maneuver up towards this. Now, we're going to use this map a little bit for it. But as you guys approach by way of the Bottom home, skipping through the town square over to these buildings, and you get up to this person's house. From the back, you are able to get a line of sight to here at the Miners' Exchange. So I'm going to zoom in a lot down in the Miners' Exchange and Halia's house. And it would be about, if it was 5 or 6 before, it's now 7:30 or 8:30 roughly. It's dark. It's chilly. Guys, rolling perception.
$19.
All right. Jerk and Godwald. And let's see. And Jerk and Godwald are able to see from their location. And yeah, I like a little square or a circle or some kind of mark with a dot on it if you want to do it. We kind of just do lines if you want to like put a little dot down where you are. And then we'll draw lines and then you can delete your dot or move it. Sound good?
Mhm.
All right. As you guys approach, you do notice that lights are off at the Miners' Exchange. It looks dark, and there's no light shedding in from the windows. Seems like nobody is home.
Okay. So I think we know where we're going then.
All right. So where are you from here? You guys are right in here somewhere. Throw me some little dots that represent your characters. We could go grab little tiny tokens and make really, 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 really small ones.
Small.
But that block works. I got Godwald. Someone give me another little block.
If you hit draw a shape and to make a square and just click somewhere, it makes this small square.
This is gonna be Tally. I got a jerk. I need a sparkle gem. Oh, and I guess there'll be a second one for Ahalia. All right. So as you guys move closer to the building, and Ahalia kind of wants to come around the back, so she heads off this direction. Taliesin follows Hallia's lead,
Do, 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 do.
and they start moving in closer. 2 houses down. She moves over, gets up on the corner. Taliesin follows. Talia behind. And you guys move up close.
Do, 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 do,
With your
do.
previous perception rolls, you do see faint candlelight flickering from inside. And Halia whispers to you. She goes, "All right, we can see the back door from here. There's one window on the west side of the house. There's a window and a door on the north side of the house. Are we gonna knock? What are we doing?"
Go block the windows. I'll knock and I'll get this. And I'll distract him at the door.
There's like 4 possible exits, and there's 5 of you. So
Everybody block the windows. Somebody stick with me. The second he opens the door, use your reaction to tackle him to the ground.
Okay. Which of you is this green dot?
I am.
All right. Front door is up here.
Okay.
Is anybody gonna like hide around that corner, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak around the other way,
All right.
and I'm gonna hide over here.
All right. You guys feel pretty confident that with the magic and your abilities that you've been fairly quiet,
Yes.
and I guess we're waiting for a signal.
I think the signal will be when she knocks on the door.
And
Okay, we're in a position for door knock.
I'm just waiting for someone to say they do something.
CJ?
I'll go up and knock.
Are,
Sorry.
what is... Are you okay?
It's the whole call, probably.
Yeah, there's a lot going on my screen right now, and I'm just like, oh, ADHD. Wee.
All right.
Squares.
You knock, and as you see the dim light that was shedding through the windows from you guys off to the west and the south side of the building, and the little light on the door, it dims. It was like an oil lamp inside, and the light was turned down, and they kind of come up and try and look through their window out in the front. So you see a figure kind of move up, and with your perception rolls from before, it's Halia, but kind of like looks back and forth, doesn't really notice anything, goes up and opens the door, and Halia is staring, and she goes, "Oh, Sparkle Gem, you're back from the cave." And
Attack.
Can I hear this around the corner?
she slams the door in your face
What?
Yeah,
You're
that's
back
what you do when
from
someone
the
shows up at
cave.
your house in the middle of the night.
and
rude.
slams the door. You hear a chunk as a bar goes down inside of it, and shuffling going on and around from the inside.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go through the window then.
I'm going to, yeah.
All right.
CJ,
Wait,
will you help me go through
you're
this
on
other
the-
window?
Oh, you're
Yeah,
gonna go
I'll
through
help
that window
you.
on the north?
Throw me inside.
Yeah, I'm going through the
Okay.
front
Okay.
window.
No,
Okay.
Like, can you just jimmy it open?
You gotta break the window. What are you breaking the window with? Just your body.
Do you have a crowbar?
I do have a crowbar.
All right.
Or
How do you
green.
use the crowbar to get this window open? Do you crack it open and jump through the shards of glass? What's the deal?
Probably not. I should probably try to jimmy it open with the crowbar.
Okay, roll me a strength check as you
Oh, Jesus.
jam one end into it and you go to pull out.
All right.
This is going to be with advantage because you're using a tool specifically for this purpose.
Yep, it's got a text box for it. This is some of the funniest text I found in the player's handbook.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Leverage.
So roll 2d20 and then add your strength.
I just thought that was funny the
You
whole
don't
time.
have to use all those macros and stuff you guys made. That might make it
Okay, so
harder.
it's a 14 or a 15.
Okay, so it's advantage, so it's a 15.
Okay.
With the 15, so you jerk as soon as the door slams and you hear a skunk from the inside, a familiar noise, perhaps a bar being closed across the door. You jam the crowbar in, and the glass panes just kind of pop up and swing open. The latch that was on the inside just goes, and you've broken the latch.
I'm
Windows
in.
open.
As soon as it opens, I jump in.
All right, quick! Everybody roll me initiative.
With modifier, without.
With you can roll with your modifier. We're gonna make this quick.
I'm just going to roll and tell you what it is, because I don't want to... 8.
14.
Okay, so actually I do need to do this, I guess. Phandalin, advantage initiative roll. Sparkle Gem, 8. Jerk, 14. Is that on the die?
No, it's 14 plus the advantage. Or plus the initiative.
Godwald was 17. Halia in the back, 19. And all right. Did I miss anybody? I missed somebody there. Godwald, Sparkle Gem, Jerk. Oh, Taliesin, because he's kind of with us. 12. All right. So Jerk started by slamming the old door open. You guys went and all right, Godwald, you're first. You just heard the door slam, the bar go down, the dim lights and a noise up from the front. There's something kind of and broke up in the front there.
You said the light went out. Can I see anything at all in
If you
the window? Through the window.
Look through the window. Quick perception check. Yeah. As you look inside, you see a figure. I suppose it's kind of familiar. Halia Thornton, dressed in obviously quite different clothes from the Halia traveling with you is wearing, just rags, but she's in a leather armor and stuff, and she is going through a chest and sifting through and grabbing some things out of that. Do 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 do. There's
Roll
no
to
one
get
else
her.
in the room.
Murder.
Let's see.
What
This
does
says
Godwald do?
I would like to cast a spell.
All right, what spell are you going to cast?
I would like to cast command.
All right. I gotta roll something for command, don't I?
It's a save.
All right. What kind of save?
Wiz 15.
I got a 2 with my +1 modifier. So command succeeds.
And I chose the word halt.
Okay, so for the round,
The effect is on the creature's next turn, it takes no actions. No
All
movement,
right.
no nothing.
All right, are you gonna stay there at the window?
Is Sparkle Gem next to me?
Sparkledem's around on the north. She's the green dot.
I
And Jerk is at a window at the north there.
At least move away from the window so I can jump in
and
real
I
quick.
will take a step towards the back of the house, away from the window,
Thanks.
Okay.
and I will wait to see what happens next.
Jerk, you pried the window open. You did see the flicker of some magic. And do you speak command? Do you have to say something like halt?
I say halt, and I point, and it's only verbal components.
So you've heard your cohort. Oh, I guess we could opens up that little house, right? Yeah. All right, Jerk, you're at an open window. You've
Okay.
heard your cohort scream halt. The effects of some magic seem to have done something, and the Halia inside the house going through a chest has stopped.
Okay,
It's
then
in
I'm
fact actually quite close to the window where you are.
going to cast Enthrall.
Enthrall. All right, what does Enthrall do?
You weave a distracting string of words, causing a creature of your choice that you can see within range and that can hear you to make a Wisdom saving throw. Any creature that can't be charmed succeeds on the saving throw automatically, and if your companions are fighting a creature, it has advantage on the save. It doesn't say what it does though. The tag is control.
On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on perception to see anything other than you until the spell ends.
So it's enthralled with Jerk. And I had a Wisdom save.
Of 13.
I got a 12. So the target can now is super focused on you as you've cast this spell. And you notice that she's stopped and she's just kind of staring up forward at you. Do you do anything else?
I ready my rapier in case it attacks.
Okay, so you're just at the open window, ready with the rapier.
Yep. I took a couple steps into the room so someone could follow me if they wanted to.
Oh, okay, so you climbed into the house.
Yeah, I'm in the house.
Oh, okay. So let's grab little pink Jerk and move him in there. Maybe a
Little
quick
pink jerk.
a little quick black dot for the creature going through the thing. You're actually like right up next to it. Actually, you're standing right next to it. It was going through this chest. It was going through this chest and then stopped, and then like was stopped and stopped moving. And then you cast this other spell, and its eyes just kind of gloss over, and it's just kind of staring at you, unable to kind of move. Next comes Talison's turn. Holly looks at him. She's like, "Bust the door down. Let's get him." And Talison, what spell of Talison's do I want to use to bust a door down?
Simplest response is primal savagery and going Wolverine on that shit.
Yeah, he does that a lot. So, the druid casts primal savagery. His teeth, fingernails sharpen and grow, and he does go Wolverine on that door. He makes his attack roll to do, passes that, so it succeeds the AC of a door and does enough damage. And it does 2d10 because he's at the 5th level.
Mhm.
Does 11 damage to the door, and you see it he just kind of like slashes down through the hinges on the door, breaks them, and uses his interaction to kick it inward. It was simply locked and not barred. He just didn't have time to do it. He was actually going to try and run out the back. So the door now opens up, and he steps inside.
Huh, then what did we hear?
You heard the doppelganger bar the front door.
Oh, okay.
Talison's coming in the back.
Okay.
Halia follows up. Oh no, Sparkle Gem, you're at the front door. You heard
Wait.
it. You heard it barred. You saw Jerk go in through the window at the front on the north side.
Whichever window's closest, I'm going to run in, jump in, and then use my wand of web to cast it right on the dude. So it's
So
restrained.
Jerk's window is already open.
Yeah,
Yes.
whichever. Then
So
I'll
you could go here, and you are going to have to give me a quick athletics check to make sure you can jump up into this window and climb inside.
Can
Just
I
give me
do
that.
like a back handspring, undertuck, hop backflip through the window instead?
An acrobatics check to get through the window then.
Okay. I'm sorry. I figured my best
Yeah, no.
estimate would be like,
Vault.
hey, here's a
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. Give me the roll.
It's like when you. It's like. It's like.
But it didn't roll right. You know what? Skip it. I'm going to do it this way. And just tell you
Yeah,
what it
it's
is.
in this industries. Yeah, it's easiest.
I got a
Oh, yeah.
23.
Yeah, you super succeed. You basically like kind of come up to the window. You've seen that it's open. You know, it's not smashed or anything. So you're totally confident you're not going to get like broken glass on you or anything. You go, you kind of tuck, roll, jump, dive through it. Roll, land on your feet, kind of right behind Jerk. And in that moment, you realize that if you were to cast web in this room, it would capture all of you.
Fuck. Okay.
It's not a very big house.
Darn. Okay.
But you didn't know that till you got inside. But the doppelganger is sitting there,
Standing.
stunned, just enthralled.
I'm gonna tackle him.
You're gonna walk over to the person and make the
Wait.
grapple.
All
Or
right.
the shove to the ground.
Wait, he can't move, he can't do anything? If that's the case, I'm just gonna grab a rope and tie him up.
They still get reactions.
Okay. So either way, then in that case it's grapple, right? So you want
Yeah.
to try and hold him so that you can tie him up, or the next person can tie him up potentially.
Yep, so that's gonna be a 4.
All right. His strength is mighty. He's actually you could see it just kind of flexes and then you're unable to hold on to it. It's knocking your. It seems. It's like the adrenaline's kicked in. It realizes how outnumbered and trapped it is, and it's definitely going to be. It's definitely losing it, and that adrenaline is
Okay.
able to knock your hands away. Not standing there.
Okay.
So some
bonus.
movement and action. Bonus action.
Bonus action disengage and back off just enough so that way, like, someone else could get in and grapple him.
All right, yeah. And he's unable to do anything to it. You see Halia come in from the back after, if that's the end of your turn.
Yep.
She goes out, she pulls out the wand of magic missiles, which has recharged.
Wait, it's
So she launches the remaining 3 magic missile shots at the doppelganger, which will do like D4 each. Just weaken it so that it can't run, and it takes. So she basically comes in behind Taliesin as he's knocked at the door, points the magic wand kind of at his back almost because this room is pretty cramped. The missiles just go flying out and around him and then poof, 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 and hit him a couple times. Drops him, hurts him a bit. And she shouts, she's like, "Who's got the rope? Tie him up, grab him."
Shit. I don't have any rope.
can I use my reaction to throw rope?
Well, she says that, and then I actually think it would be the doppelganger's turn, but because of the halt command, he can't do anything till the end of his turn, right?
It says on its next turn, the creature does not move and takes no actions.
Okay, so it basically between being enthralled. Well, let me read enthrall
Well,
really quick.
enthrall-
You didn't really
Weird.
read it to me.
No.
It's like a stealth.
Yeah, it's
thing.
a stealth thing, so they probably could have snuck up on him. I should have been more explicit in what I wanted to do.
I mean, you just got that spell as your racial feat, as your racial bonus for this level, right?
Yeah. So basically, they have to roll perception with disadvantage to see if they notice other targets.
But we've made our presence known.
They've already made their presence known. So
Yeah. All right. Well, between the magic that's on him, it doesn't get a turn to move, and so then that would just bring us back to the top of the order with Godwald. Godwald, you are the last person outside the building.
And the front door is still barred.
The front door You haven't seen anyone go through the front door. You heard the noise, and you saw other people. You could, from your angle, you saw Jerk and Sparkle Gem jump in through a window. You saw Taliesin and Halia bust in through the back door, and some magic missiles go flying off. And she's starting to try and weaken the creature. She shouted out for some rope. Who has rope? Quick! So you could probably run around the back if you just wanted to go through a door.
Then I would like to do that. So I go in through the back door and go to wherever the scuffle is happening.
Okay. And the doppelganger is standing there in the middle, amidst of everyone, surrounded by them.
Don't
What
we
is-
get advantage
This
on
little
everything
one.
because we have him
And you come in
surrounded?
here. And we're all like, how do we even move?
That's a
Base. The black square is the doppelganger. It's completely surrounded by you all.
let's see. Do I have anything that's really good for this situation?
Rope, probably.
I'll throw my rope.
I
Candace,
have
throw
rope.
my rope. You throw rope.
Okay, I'll go for the grapple.
No, Halia already has the other, the doppelganger, grappled.
she
We need
attacked.
rope.
Not grappled. She attacked. She
Okay,
asked
my
who
bad.
has rope.
I would like to get out rope and then attempt to grapple.
She felt weak. She didn't feel like she straight up didn't feel like she had the strength in her to
Gotcha.
grapple in. So she just attacked with what she had available.
You know, one of us should have probably gone back and gotten Pew Bear.
There's no time.
I was gonna say that'd be quite a trip.
Right, you guys are in like the
That's fair.
7th second of combat here. As,
See, I'd like to-
as Godwalls come around the back.
I'd like to answer that call by having rope and attempting that grapple.
Grapple him. Contesting checks. Mine's pretty low. Oh yeah, you win.
So you successfully grapple.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So if you've got him
And,
held and you guys want to tie him up, then
I want to take
This is-
everything off his body and then tie him up.
Everything?
Okay.
Like armor
Everything. He's getting naked. Everything.
All right.
as Halia?
All right. So you guys have successfully
Hell yeah,
you guys successfully come in. You capture. You're able to tie up the doppelganger.
With
The clothing
Halia.
the doppelganger was wearing, as you notice, it actually isn't like clothing. It's part of it, and as you're like touching it, you're realizing that it's kind of fleshy and sort of a little strange
Ew.
to texture.
So with
Yeah.
you,
The sword and some of the gear that it was attempting to grab out of the chest are now scattered on the floor. If you're going through that Sparkle Gem, you would find a signet ring of the Black Spider, pouch with 40 gold, and other just like knickknacks that he had around. There's a knife, there's a rapier,
sundry items.
there's some gear, yeah, stuff that it was basically trying to get all of his stuff and get out once it realized that you
Hey, you're back.
had returned alive.
You know, I probably should have.
So it's holding on and it's tied up. It's like, ah, what's going on? Why are you doing this to me? But then sees Halia and is kind of just shuts up. Looks around
I
at the
just
rest.
imagine a disappointed transformation back to a doppelganger. Like, oh,
No, it realizes its defeat, but it holds the shape of Halia.
Fair.
To which she is a bit upset and goes to, like, you stop looking like me, and goes to punch him.
Unarmed
Actually,
strike
she does unarmed strike and smacks him in the face
for one.
for 1 bludgeoning damage. She's just like, you can tell she's a little bit weaker than she's thought
I
she was
fixed
going to
it.
be when she went and punched him. Hey, he's back.
back.
I fixed it.
Well, you guys just captured the doppelganger. We did a little little mini map thing.
Smash
Where
into
it,
grab.
All right.
I like to do it this way because if the doppelganger had run, I was gonna have it running roughly these squares throughout
10
town,
after
and it was gonna
9.
be fun.
Did
I'm
I
gonna
do
go
anything
take
cool?
My quick break.
You
You
pass without
Wolverine's the door
trace.
open. Oh yeah, and use pass without trace to make everybody stealthy as you approach the house.
Let's see. First combat round was
Do
primal
I still even
savagery
have
on the
them?
back door, and the door is now gone.
What did I roll on that damage on that?
Shred level.
It was like 14, so it was enough. You just shredded the hinges and then kicked the door down.
Oh, nice.
Ahalia followed in behind you. She's pretty weak, so she just attacked it with the wand of magic missiles that she has. Oh, actually,
I
need to
gotta
roll
take
that
the
Use
9
D20 to
o'clock
see if
break.
anything crumbles.
Yeah, 9 o'clock
It
break.
does not
But
crumble. Yeah.
I gave.
I'll leave the stream
The
up and running
doppelganger
so you
a
guys
hug?
can continue on, but I gotta go get the
Alright.
kid to bed.
Okay.
So I found, well, I was doing ping tests trying to figure out what the fuck was going on, and I was getting like 80% packet loss.
Holy shit.
And I checked my modem's event logs, and I was kept getting like failure to synchronize and like partial service. And I was able to like go through all of the different connections for the coax cable and find a loose connection, which was on the back side of the wall plate of where my coax goes into the wall.
You're saying your wired internet was short circuiting.
It was only getting like a partial connection, yeah.
It's like one of the actual to the cable company wires was loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sucks. That's good though.
Well, it's annoying because I had them come out like a month ago, and they were like, "Oh, it was just loose on the back of the modem." And I was like, "Well, you clearly." And then it was like a little bit better, but not. And then tonight it was just like fucking terrible, and I kept doing like speed tests, and I was like, "I know that I'm paying for 100 megs per second, and I'm getting like 6. So something's
this has been happening
wrong."
for like a month, or get steadily worse.
Well, it got really bad tonight. Usually it's not terrible, but I've noticed sometimes it'll get really bad and then it goes away. But it seems like where the connection is on the back of the faceplate and the wall underneath my desk, like the coax cable is actually screwed into the faceplate like really well, but then on the back side of that is not. It was like loose. So I'm like on the phone with WoW, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm taking your shit apart and just like busting open my wall.
Did it work?
Yeah, I fixed it. I'm still making them come out here and check the pole connection though, because fuck them.
I mean, the problem did exist and it was reproducible.
Yeah. So. But sorry about that.
It's alright.
So yeah, we snuck through my backyard, went over here to Halia's place.
I can see a bunch of squares in a building.
Yes, that's the best way on this resolution. If you zoom to maximum zoom, you can see the combat arena.
Yeah, I did want to like. So I did this where I brought these like interior buildings in and overlaid on the map, and then went through the effort to like black out every building like
Yeah.
one by one, and then I
Ever,
realized
like-
I didn't resize the map beforehand. I was just like, God damn it!
Aw.
I mean,
So I would
we
have had
made
to
it
like
work.
redo all of that stuff again.
Yeah.
So, and it would be a pretty big map if I made it to scale. So either way, we still would be using probably like little colored squares.
I mean, yeah, it would take several minutes to crop the part we're actually using of the new map, and then like maybe move that to another map and whatever. It's annoying.
Is Sparkle Gem out of here too already? Yeah, she's away too. All right. Yeah, we'll wait till the three of them come back from there. Smoke breaks, and child rearing.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But I do want an investigation check from Sparkle Gem, who wanted to go through all of this stuff. Or if someone else is like, okay, she tried to take his stuff, I want to go through that chest. somebody's gonna roll me an investigation check.
Fair.
This needs to be
And like
bigger.
half to all of us are all right there. So
But yeah, so the only people not here for this moment are Hubert, all of the civilians, and everyone else. And Halia has requested that this be kept on the down low so that people don't lose faith in the miners' exchange.
So small.
So she's hoping to keep this secret so she can keep her business.
So all this is wrapped up.
Just about.
I guess.
We're gonna pick back up when Sarah came back from her smoke break and Chris came back from child rearing and Hubert came back, or Joe came back from wherever he's doing.
Okay.
Are you immediately going to peace out? Is that what I hear? I hear it in your voice.
Yeah, Sparkle Jump's peacing out, yo. She's like, all right, this is wrapped. I got some business to go take care of.
All right. Well, you can run away when we get back.
Okay.
I'm outie.
I'm outie. Sparkle Jump's very adamant about like
Getting the fuck out of Dodge.
Whatever the hell you're doing.
going and doing her shady shit that Sparkle Jump's so good at doing.
I'm back.
Guys,
It's been almost 36 hours since you were able to do shady shit down.
I know.
Geez, quick, run. It's been so long. Hey, what are you
Sparkle,
gonna do if you don't get your fix?
stab somebody?
I'm
Although-
able to cheat someone out of something.
I'm gonna turn into jerk. Like.
I'm just gonna stab everything.
although I did lose my goblin friend, I gain a new sentient pipe friend.
You know, you also have
a
a giant.
staff.
You also have a giant snake.
That's
is
true.
at your command. It is an animal companion.
You can
in a
like
sense.
summon it.
It's actually a
just
little.
to hang out with you.
It's actually a little better than an animal companion. I was thinking about this because it doesn't have to heal. Like you being able to like turn it back into a staff and bring it back. Like
Just like auto heals it.
it auto heals it without having to like do medicine checks to get revive it from being unconscious. And then two, if you were crueler, I suppose you don't have to be as attached to a magical item animal, but that doesn't seem like you.
it's like Arbok, return.
I'm a druid.
Arbok.
It's an animal. I'm gonna be.
It
Right, you gotta
matters
treat-
more than the
It's,
lives around him.
I think I would have trouble with that. So I play in my Friday night game, which I haven't been able to do for like 2 weeks now. It's driving me crazy because I was sick on Friday. I don't know if you can still hear it, but
Little bit.
one of our players like somehow conjured a plant creature, like a sentient plant creature, but it's kind of dumb and it was like brought into life. So
What
it
is
like
my
no
purpose?
it like yeah it like knows nothing, and she started treating it like it's her child. And me playing my character, I have a really tough time like treating it like it's a person. And I'm like, this magical thing that just kind of like came into existence in this dungeon. You've never seen it before. You've just decided that it's your son. And
People can pack bond with anything.
And we all need to like treat it like it's your son too. Like I'm a little weary of random sentient creatures just appearing and whether or not they're gonna stab me in the back or like do something that I do. Like, and I feel like it's an entirely valid concern for my character to have. Be like, I
Yeah.
don't trust that thing. But everyone else is like, dude, what's wrong with dude? It's like her son. I was like, well, why is she bringing her newborn son into this fucking 20 level dungeon anyways? Like, if she cares about it, she just take it back to their bar / hotel that they own and leave it there so it doesn't die with us.
What's that line in Harry Potter 2? Don't trust a thing that can think for itself if you can't see where it keeps its brain.
I suppose. If you don't know where its brain is, why? I don't know. I got nothing. Sorry. It wasn't a Harry Potter joke.
You weren't a Harry Potter kid.
Nope.
All right, so what's the happenings, guys?
Did Sarah leave as she told me she's back?
Internet is
Unclear.
bugging. She just said.
Oh my gosh. We're
Internet
having
troubles.
This is just a rough
we're having
day.
such a good connection day. So many great things are gonna happen while we can barely communicate basic die rolls.
Could
Is
be
what it is.
worse.
I really want her to be back for this. Eh.
Oh,
That's a green wall.
It's been like that for a while.
oh, I
There's
see
the
a
top
head
of her head. I see a little bit. Oh,
and a
she's
hand.
waving at us.
That's
We
confirmed.
need like a poster that is.
She
your-
can hear us. We got the
your
okay
face,
side.
okay. Can we hear you?
Okay, so let's case the joint.
I'm more concerned that we could hear you than see you.
Say something.
Mm-hmm.
She is, but we can't hear her.
Still muted.
I can wait. I saw that one finger being held up. I can
Hi.
do it too.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Sorry, I forgot to put it on mute. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. So we're all here. I don't know. You guys really don't have a way to send a message to Pubert.
Yeah, it's not a good time. If we're still
Okay,
keeping this on the down low, then let's not have the armor going through town.
See, I'm gonna step
Right.
back outside the window and I'm gonna pull out my wild dagger and I'm just gonna
Your
wave
what?
it in the air because it's like a
It
torch.
glows.
Oh, you're gonna use the radiant feature of it?
Yeah,
You know, wave it around.
I'm gonna wave it to them to come, and then I'm gonna put it away quickly and get back in the house.
You wanted to bring everyone?
I think they
Or-
are very far away
Oh.
comparatively to you, and would have a very difficult time seeing that. Also, weren't instructed to watch out for it.
Never mind.
Yeah, my eyes
So
would be on
I like
that.
the idea. It was a good in the future. That's a good signal you can use.
My
Well,
head would be.
I could just stab it in the ground and set off some wild magic. That'd get their attention.
Maybe what if you don't deal damage?
All right, so I'll just go back in the house after making an ass out of myself.
I
Okay,
don't
so let's-
know what's happening or where I'm at, so.
So we're all these little squares down here in Holly Thornton's house. But this is it's really because there was only one character. You guys basically had to form a plan in order to try and capture it. If it got out of the house in some way, I was gonna have us moving the squares across town, as you would have to try and chase it, but you guys were easily able to succeed with your magical abilities versus this doppelganger. You've captured this spy. It started squirming about as you had tied it up, saying like, "Why are you doing this? What's going on?" And then saw Halia and realized that its cover was blown, and then promptly shut up.
After being punched in the face.
Oh yeah, then she punched it. It's like, "Stop looking like me," and punched it and saved it to hold its concentration after
Taking 1 damage.
1 damage, but it does fail, and out of shame, it does, like Joe described earlier, kind of wilt back into the gray form, the elongated arms of the doppelganger.
You said you wanted to check before the break?
And you now have it captured. Halia stops and thinks to herself, now that you've done this, what are we going to do? All right, now that we've got him, nobody knows that it's been impersonating us. We can interrogate it. I can interrogate it here. Do you guys want to get your friends and bring them back here to my house? We could stay here tonight, and we can
Whoa.
go through the,
Hmm?
and we can interrogate him.
Yes.
I just
Sure.
connected and reconnected like a million times.
All right,
I
I'll
heard a
head
dink
out
dink.
and go get everybody else
Quietly.
quietly
All right, so
with my
sure.
37 stealth.
Are you going out the front door, the busted down back door?
I'm just gonna climb out the window
Climb out the window.
and I'll close it.
his
I'll,
way.
I'll like gently close it behind me.
Roll me a perception as you exit the house. Do-do. Do-do-do-do.
21.
As you are heading up back towards the north to go back to the outside of town, you do notice two figures walking down the path. They are off to the west, but they are heading to the east.
Can I
in
tell
this
who they
direction.
are?
With that perception roll, you don't recognize who they are, but you do recognize the silhouettes. Something seems familiar about these furs and these two people walking by. Roll me an intelligence check to see if you can remember where you've seen these silhouettes.
What Bear described just happened to me.
Oh, we're kicking ass today. We are internet savvy.
12.
Your intelligence is a +4?
Yes.
So,
You can check my sheet if you'd
kind of
like.
the furs they're wearing and the size of the two figures, they're kind of at a distance where they're sort of shadowy, but you sort of remember seeing these two silhouettes as you were traveling up up into the mountains. Somebody who had said, Taliesin had said, "Hail, fair traveler," and they shouted back to you and said, "Go hail yourself."
Oh, that was me. I remember these guys. Okay.
Not
And
very nice.
Well, I'm gonna try
and you
to.
also saw them. You also saw them on your way back when you're heading back on the cart from Wave Echo, and it seems that they're now in town.
Okay. Well, I'm going to.
They're probably over. They're probably over about here, like closer to the miners' exchange.
I'm gonna take the far way. So I'm gonna sneak into these bushes and stuff.
So they are where?
Right where this little square was placed.
This guy? Okay.
So I'm gonna keep the
Mhm.
building between us to go to the carriage. and
Jerk
get
has seen them.
everybody.
You guys are inside with the doppelganger. You've tied him up, and
The
Can
window's
I-
been closed, the front door is still closed and barred, and the lights are out.
Can I try to
the
quietly?
back door is broken off of its hinges, though.
Can I try to quietly activate the Stone of Far Speech?
The stone of far speech.
Or
You want to take out the sending stone that you have
the
and
sending
use it
stone.
right now.
Sending
Yeah,
stone.
yeah, that's what I
I was
meant.
gonna say, what the hell is a stone of far speech? But
I
I mean,
was- yeah,
is that
that's
like
what
a
I meant.
Is that like a 3E thing? It used to be called.
I don't know.
Okay, that's cool.
So I'm gonna try to
But to-
quietly get a hold of them in the house because I'm assuming the doppelganger probably has that stone in the house somewhere.
Okay, you've had the stone with you. I don't know if you attuned to it.
Does it require
Piece
that?
of equipment. I'm not sure off the top of my head really fast. No, it doesn't. All right, yeah. So you have it. You've equipped it. You've had it. You can activate it and speak into the stone.
Hello?
What does Jerk say?
Jerk says, "Oh, yeah." Jerk says, "Hey, there's some people headed towards the house."
Okay. I think the person with the highest passive perception inside is Taliesin.
Mm-hmm.
Taliesin, from your position as Godwald's, Godwald's helping keep the doppelganger tied. Holly is starting to, she's just kind of like looking around her house, as giving the guy a couple thwacks in the face to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna have my way with you. This is gonna be good." And Sparkle Gem had tried to take all the stuff off of him, but didn't see anything. You notice a glowing coming from inside the chest that the doppelganger was going through, and you hear a whispered voice say, "Hey, there's two people coming towards the house." Though you're not sure what that's talking about.
I'm gonna pull that out. Would I recognize the voice?
Yeah, you've been traveling with Jerk for some time. You
Okay.
can hear the whisper of his voice. It's a little odd to do, but you're like,
And-
"Oh, wait, that's Jerk."
And knowing that we had found the other speaking stone on the Black Spider, and this was obviously his accomplice, this would be the one that it responds to.
It's a
So-
logical connection to make. Yep.
Yeah, so I would respond to the speaking stone. Which direction are they coming from?
He whispers to Jerk.
They're coming coming from the west.
The two figures,
And they're
walking,
going to be
getting closer.
They're going to be hitting the front door any minute.
Okay. So I'm gonna.
Jerk
I'm
to kind of disappear and
assuming.
look at the miners exchange a bit. Sorry.
I'm. People are working. Well, see, I don't know who these people are. They might just have thought that this person was Halia as well, and they could just be other miners. So I don't want to just like fucking blast them, but I want to whisper to the rest of the party, like, guys, there's two people coming from the west. We might want to hide. And am I able? Is there like a window facing that direction?
There is one window on the west side of the building. There is one with a broken latch in the north side. The door to the north is barred, and then there's the back door that is broken down. This is a fireplace on the east side. The hearth.
You sneak over towards one of the windows and kind of peer out to.
Yeah, if you get over on the west side of the building and like peer out, even just with your passive perception, you could probably see them starting to come
Oh, we lost you.
across this front door.
Okay.
We lose somebody?
Yeah.
Joe? Man, this is a great
Wow.
night for internet today. This is
You know what's
Yeah.
great about this, though? I'm the
I
only
would-
one who hasn't had internet issues, which is normally the reverse.
I'm usually
So-
the one with them, and I haven't either, so this is strange.
And we still have pass without trace on, right?
Yes.
How
It
long
does
it
last for an
Yeah.
hour for the people in your vicinity, so yeah, you inside the house all still would have a plus 10
Okay.
stealth.
So I'm gonna I told everyone to hide, and I'm just kind of watching these people from the window to see if they're gonna try and come in here or what exactly they're doing.
If they're getting closer, I'm going to turn and say, "Hail and well met, travelers."
So you're gonna shout from the bushes where you're at?
Yeah, I'm going to walk out of the bushes and I'm going to say, "Hail and well met, travelers."
All right, you walked out of the bushes.
Yeah.
Right before that, they did start to split up and start moving around the house. But as that happens, let's see, Taliesin and Jerk, you would see these two figures. I can describe in a kind of generic way. One is extremely tall, large for a humanoid.
Oh no.
The other is about average height. Both wearing furs over to stay warm in the winter months as they're traveling. Taliesin, at this point, you were leading the cart on the way there. On the way there and back, you recognize these silhouettes. But would the two people who are these characters like to give a, let's see, brief description of their characters here? And either of you can go first.
Describing themselves or the
Yeah,
people
yeah.
they're seeing?
What does Jerk and Taliesin see, these two figures, as they started to split up and go around the house?
How would I know what they look like?
You're looking out the window.
One is
Apparently you're in charge.
I was muted.
one is much larger than the other, much larger than any normal humanoid. He's clearly not human. They're coming around. It looks like they're coming around, or at least one of them is coming around the back. Quickly, like maybe we
the
should
the
confront them.
So you would get ready to
All right.
fight this person.
I
right.
wanna, yeah. Go ahead.
So they kind of, as you know, so Jerk pops out and says, "Hail and well met, travelers," popping out of the bushes. You both roll me perception checks really fast. And I think Sarah, this is going to be your first time. So on the left, there's that little menu with the.
I
No,
already walked
you
with
are
through
not the two
tent.
people I am talking to, Taliesin.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, just tell
the two
me
people.
which.
There you go.
I'm doing the D10, right?
D20 for your
D20. Got it.
for your perception.
Okay, can you guys actually hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I heard
Okay.
that.
I've been talking this entire time, and everybody's just been talking over me constantly. I'm like, the fuck is going on?
We're not
Yeah,
that rude.
I would like the two players of these two characters to give short, kind of brief descriptions of what Jerk and Taliesin see as the both of you kind of split up to go around the building looking for
So the one
open
figure
evidence.
is like, with it being dark, you can't really make out much other than like very thick gray and black furs covering a large figure. This figure is clearly larger than like Pubert, possibly even larger than Roshi himself. Yeah. Possibly larger than Hirda. Just like trying its best to stay stealthy as it lurks around. And you also see the tip of scales just kind of peeking out of the bottom of its fur cloak. That's clearly attached to the tip of its tail.
Oh, and it has a tail. Yeah.
Yes, it has horns and a tail. But you can't see the horns right now.
And how about this other character?
I think we may have lost Sarah.
No, you got to be kidding me. No! I hate
Yes.
tonight. This is the
2
worst.
hours
Ah,
to this moment.
I hate life.
And the response is, it's snowing hard at my casa, so sorry.
Is
I
that what
hate
she just
everything
said?
about.
Yeah, it is
Yeah, she put
snowing
it
a
in
lot.
Can confirm.
Also, it's supposed to snow until 1 a.m. here in Columbus, so
Yeah.
give yourself some extra time in the morning if you're going to work. I already called off work. I saw that weather and I was like, yeah, I'm not driving on the roads the first day.
I've only got a half day, so I might call it off anyway, because that's life.
I feel like an idiot because I went into work and I was like, hey Nate, I don't feel like doing shit. Do you feel like doing shit? He's like, no. So we left.
And now you're gonna have to go to work tomorrow.
What it was gonna be like. And so I in order to keep up, I have to go in tomorrow.
Yeah, we've gotten quite a bit of snow here as well, and
Well, it always snows there.
what, in Michigan? I know, right? Like, it's either snow or construction. We don't have shit else. Either way, the roads are constantly shit. But at least people could drive. Welcome back.
Okay, yes. Now, before it dies, please.
Yes, while your internet's working and you can speak, describe this character in the shadowy moonlight.
Is CJ ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a thumbs up. I know my thumb's weird and curved.
Fucking weird thumb.
Weird thumb. Look at that thing.
Well, my character is robed. She has a hood on, but she has some spiral horns coming out from the top. She is shrouded. She's got some darker skin, longer hair, and she's just kind of quieter and medium size, just standing in the back. It's got a tail that's outside the hood. You know.
Do you guys respond to the guy who popped out and said, "Hail and well met"?
It's the middle of the night.
Azita will definitely speak up and be like, "Go hail yourself."
Like, I thought that was you.
But
Yeah.
they kind of case the building and then come around to the back to see the broken down door, and everyone inside. You do see these two figures poke their head in.
As the larger character steps into the light, you guys see these flared nostrils, almost very dragon-like in character, covered in emerald green scales with a big old bull ring right through her nose. Her
Ooh.
eyes big and crystal blue, and her like scales go back almost at the start of a mohawk at the top.
Ridges.
Yeah, they're ridged. Her head is ridged, only to be paired with matching smaller horns that curl around.
So
All
they go.
that in a pink, like there's a ridge, and then there's two almost small ram
Holy
horns
fuck.
that come around her head.
Oh, okay, so they're not straight back; they go out.
Yeah, they go wrap right around, and
Okay.
those are like a soft pastel pink in color.
Hmm.
Around her neck, like coming around her neck under the hood, is a bundle drunch of dreadlocks that are green or teal is what I decided in color. And again, rest of her is just covered in a cloak, but her underbelly is just this beautiful. What did I decide shade it was? I gotta go back to my character sheet. Sorry. Worst human ever.
You're good.
Uh, sea foam green poking through where her stomach would be.
Guess it was my turn to lose connection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just lost connection at like 6 times.
And
I feel like
upon
this part
entering the
happened.
room, Zeta will like speak in a low grumbling voice almost, just be like, "Oh, so something was amiss here the entire time."
Taliesin holds up his staff and says, "Don't fuck with me. I have the power of my god and anime on my side."
Okay.
All right. Well,
I was about to call lightning on you guys, and I'm really glad that
You
that
did?
somebody stopped me. I'm really glad that it was like, oh no, wait a minute.
well, I can see
'Cause-
that they're gonna have this handled or whatever, so I'm gonna go get everybody.
Okay, so Jerk abandons with 2 new characters rolling up at the door.
Sparkle
He
Gem is
pieces
going
out.
to like freak
Oops.
out that there's a giant in the room and just dip out of dodge. Like she's just like, nope, can't handle this. I'm outie.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay. Okay.
She doesn't like large things. She
So
doesn't like large
the
creatures.
people remaining in the room are Taliesin, Godwald, the tied up doppelganger, and Halia.
And Pew Bear's on his way back, correct?
So
Well,
I don't think I've been.
Jerk ran off to go get the reinforcement.
And we have just lost the DM.
Right.
Oh man, it's happening to everyone.
Yeah, I think it's Discord because when it happened to me, everything else I had running was just fine.
Yeah, same.
It was my turn.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
It was
apparently.
my turn. I got to have a connection issue. Well, thank God, finally. I was really feeling left out. You know, like you guys are having all the fun.
Yeah.
Boy.
FOMO.
Yeah. So okay. So as I was saying, the only people left in the room now are Halia, the tied-up doppelganger, Godwald, and Taliesin. As 2 new figures approach, your friends have abandoned you, and you don't know who these people are.
So we just finished this fight. These people have shown up. They have not said anything. One of them is very tall, and the other one is normal sized.
Oh,
But-
she's not just tall; she's broad as well. Like we're talking,
large.
she is 6'7" and more than 300 pounds. Like
From the description,
roots of a woman.
from the
And she's a
description,
dragonborn.
the size disparity is enhanced by the one that is not a dragon actually kind of closing in and looking a bit smaller than they actually are. So that sounds very scary. So this dragon walks in. Do you say anything, or are you just gonna look at what we're doing?
I mean, I will.
And this
speak-
creature is like about 7 feet tall. It's,
Yeah.
While this is happening, I am sprinting to the cart. So
You are
Um,
sprinting.
where is the cart?
It is. What did we say? It was about a mile out of town.
do.
You guys found a tree grove with the cart, tied up all the animals to the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Hid the cart in a small grove. That the cover of night
Mm.
should do enough to assist in keeping things.
Arrest 2 people.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, I'm just straight Forrest Gumping it.
And so, continues along.
It was my turn.
Yours is right there with you.
Hopefully the DM will be back at the same amount of time.
It's like it's like hot potato tonight. Who's going
We
to be
can
the next
s-
one to fall? Oh, there she goes. Oh,
Oz was in mid-sentence. Wait,
Oh.
Jesus.
oh my goodness, you guys.
it's just the 3 of us.
The 3 rogues are left to their own demise. Do we
Ugh.
just stab everybody and steal them while they're AFK?
There is an
Yeah,
open
pretty
chest in
much,
there.
yeah.
There's an open chest in there, so.
Yeah, let's just all loot that while, everybody else is
Oh
gone.
man, I'll take what I can.
I'm like a
Okay.
mile away at this point, so.
Well, me and CJ are next to each other. Oh, I guess we can't steal. Okay.
I mean, pretty
Nope.
sure we still could. I don't think anyone's really going to challenge this close to 7-foot fucking dragon that just came into the house. Like,
There's JoJo.
I mean, you're a 7-foot dragon. I'm like this half demon, like.
whatever.
Why
These 2 shady ass fuckers just rolled up. How is Pew Bear going to handle being smaller than somebody is my question.
Smaller isn't the problem. The horns in the tail might be another issue, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to get to you to bring you back.
I'm gonna grab another beer. Are we? So we're still waiting
I'm gonna
on-
make
on
myself a
Jared?
drink.
Yeah, if you want to grab drinks, use the bathroom, grab a snack, like, now's your
I gotta
chance.
show off. I've been painting Pubert. That's not working out too well.
Okay, so I know most of you guys are like outside of where we're at, but where me and Jared at, it's like a fucking blizzard outside.
Oh no, it's like a blizzard here too.
Yeah, she's up in
Let me
Michigan.
go see what it's like. I can't really see out the
We
windows.
already have close to a foot on the ground.
Fucking really?
We
Don't
got
get
like
any
a
more.
quarter, I think. At least at my house.
Yeah.
I
No, we
read
got.
I can't see.
I ran a quick speed test, and I'm getting 61 megabytes out of the 500 I typically get. So
I should have done a speed
things
test.
things are a little slowed down over here. I'm assuming that the snow is fucking with all these cable lines hanging from our houses, and
Oh,
yeah,
I'll be right back.
and I'm sure tomorrow all the cable companies are gonna be like, "What do you mean everybody's
Fucking
internet connection's not working
Jesus.
too well?"
Every time it finally connects
Nice.
back, it's like the most deafening fucking bling.
It sucks. It took me forever to get back.
Me too.
I don't even feel like turning my camera on because if my bandwidth is shit, then I just don't even want to. But here we go.
Somebody's having a fun time in the background.
Who are we missing? Now we're missing Oz. And he's one of the few people in this room. Motherfucker.
Yep. Like I said, Sparkle Gem dipped the fuck out of Dodge because a very large creature came into play that she did not feel comfortable around.
I don't know if that was entirely necessary, but
Probably not.
whatever.
But
Yeah, no, really wasn't. Once you're in there and everything was already happening.
yeah,
All right.
but
Also, I don't think you guys really needed to leave Bear back because
probably not.
this,
Well,
this creature didn't know you were coming. So
That's why I'm going to go get him.
yeah,
God. Did we get somebody
But,
back
no.
or did we lose another one?
We
Joe
lost
just
Joe.
dropped.
we lost Joe.
I don't know if this.
Sucks. I don't know
I
if it's
don't know.
gonna work so well tonight.
Nope,
Nope.
he's back. Yeah, I don't know if it's the snowstorm that's going on right now.
I'm gonna assume that's gonna be a lot of like lines hanging off of houses and
Yeah, my connection was bad normally, but like that's what I was saying was like it wasn't usually like that bad. But it got like super bad tonight as it started snowing. So
yeah, I'm surprised mine. I usually have issues, which I felt like is probably the line going from the house out back. because
Yeah.
it really does just like dangle between these trees randomly, and I could totally see a. No, I could see a Godwald. Samesies.
Finally. Okay, we got everybody, right?
Found ways. Okay.
Quick! All right.
Quick,
We're all
introduce
here.
Yeah, we
yourselves.
got everyone.
What
There
did I
are-
miss?
There are 2 players in this room, along with the DM of 2 NPCs, and there are 2 players outside of the house coming inside. I have sent some quick messages to people, and hopefully you've seen those, my new players. And so you just walked around the back of the house and saw this door and this scene. You may have also seen a gnome jump out of a window and run away.
It's okay.
And someone shouted to you from the bushes and then just disappeared.
Okay.
Well, no,
seeing
I
Miss-
said I responded to him shouting in the bushes, being like, "Go hail yourself."
Oh yeah.
So-
Hail yourself.
like seeing 2 mysterious people in cloaks. My first response would be to ask if Jerk knew these people, but Jerk is gone. I look over at Sparkler, and she is also gone.
Your 2 shady people dipped out as soon as these 2 people came up.
What can I do?
Did they say anything as they walk up to the back door? The back door flattened, clearly like slashed the hinges open, and as you're entering, you see this scene of a now gray, now somewhat alien-looking creature surrounded by a couple other people, and they've clearly been picked up. His mood,
All right.
like it's a percentage scale.
Well, I don't know how to.
I mean,
So the
Alright,
Dragonborn and
we got a connection. Focus.
So the Dragonborn, still in that very like low, rumbling, guttural voice, will speak up and be like, "You are the master of your own destiny." To Hylia. There we go. Jerk's girlfriend. Yeah. Fuck names.
Godwald and Taliesin, with your passive perception, you see Halia's eyes kind of widen, and a look of kind of sudden realization crosses her, and she responds back to them, saying, "Never be less than what you deserve to be."
My adrenaline is still going pretty high. I think I'm going to get out my crossbow and aim it at these interlopers.
Would
and
I-
be like, what the hell does that mean?
can I want to put my hand up to him and lower the crossbow and be like, I think they're part of the order that she's a part of, the one that Jerk was trying to become a part of. I don't remember what they're
Sarah.
called.
That-
Sarah, jump in here. Good talking.
Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I'm sorry.
Just interrupt
Sorry,
them. Talk.
I'm awful.
It's like,
I want to hear from our new player for the first time.
You don't want to hear from me. It's fine. What?
I said I do. I meant it.
no matter how shy you or your character are, you're at gunpoint.
Pretty much,
He
yeah, right?
drew a bow up, and then the one of the guys surrounding this prisoner kind of put it down. It's like, I think they're with her.
I'm sorry, I was trying to look something up. I'm sorry.
As the one point
Okay.
tries to lift a crossbow, the Dragonborn will put her hand on her great sword, like just on the hilt, ready to attack in case something goes amiss.
I still have my staff out. I still mean that I did canonically say what I
That's
said
fine.
earlier.
You
Right.
guys are being very hostile and threatening.
No,
It's not out of
This-
character for someone to just be like, "Okay, I'm putting my hand on my sword."
a giant lizard person
Wait.
and another person
Wait,
just
what
walked
sword?
through the door. I don't know who you guys are. I just
Like,
asked you not to fuck with
Did you
us.
say great sword?
Yes.
As in, like, two-handed, this thing is as big as me sword.
I mean, it's a toothpick.
It's as big as Sparkle Gem.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
that's
a toothpick.
that's threatening.
Yeah, all I said was to not fuck with us. I haven't actually done anything.
Well,
Threatening.
he's pointing stuff at us.
I
I'm just-
Pushed his
it's
hand down.
just a thing to be like, all right, in case they actually attack, I'm not like drawn, anything like
Yeah.
that. Just like
I'm very
hovering.
This doesn't need to, we don't need another wraith situation.
a what?
Just rage this out. Let's go.
Come on,
No.
Savvy.
Okay,
what
so
you
right
got?
now, are there weapons pointed at me right now?
No.
I'm
A
trying.
bow was drawn and put down. There is a man who looks like he could
A
cast
man with a stick
held up a
pointing in
staff
the
and
air.
said something along the lines of like, "What it was it like? I was about to call lightning down on you or something."
Yeah.
I had oh, that was out of character. I was like, I didn't know that these were going to be player characters, and I thought, and I was like, man, I was getting ready to do that if need be, but I'm really glad that you said that they were.
But yeah, so
So right now everybody's just intimidated by CJ's character,
yep.
and I'm just there. I kind of hiss at what's her name? Jerk's girlfriend,
Halia.
Talia.
Hmm.
I give a slight hiss, and I narrow my eyes, and I just kind of like stay back in the background.
At this point, Zeta will kind of look at Hylia and speak up and be like, Big Sister doesn't like strangers.
Wait, did you call
Yeah,
the smaller creature Big Sister?
totally did.
Okay.
Is this some Elric bullshit?
Holly kind of like in a situation where she just felt like she was resolving something, and then to have another come out, and realizing that look of kind of like sudden understanding in her eyes, that she's been gone so long that that the words have changed, but they are still a part of her, the Zentrum's belief structure, so she knew how to respond. Just kind of looks back and I'm surprised to see you both. What are you both doing here? It's a bit of a mess right now. There's a lot going on, and the two of you standing outside see there's Halia's dressed in like torn and tattered rags, and stained with various things, blood amongst them.
Have I reached the cart yet?
Taliesin will put his staff away and kind of step aside.
Yeah. Now you've reached the cart. You've been sprinting full speed. You made it about a mile. So a couple minutes had passed inside the house for this
I say,
awkward
hey,
interaction to happen.
guys, we need to get back to the house. There's some weird shit going on. Yeah,
What?
those people who kept telling me to hail myself. They told me to hail myself again, and then they went into Halia's
Well,
house.
Did you?
No, I came to get you.
Oh, okay.
I'll hail myself later. Let's go.
Never mind.
So you guys gonna like untie the animals and bring the cart up to Halia's house? Or are you gonna like run in, or what's the deal?
I'm gonna ask Jerk. Is that something?
It's a clear path in the middle of the night through the center of town.
Oh, right. But do we have time to do all that, or is this like an emergency? Because I have no idea. Because I'm gonna get ready to just run.
Yeah,
Maybe knock out a prisoner if we have to.
Let's just run.
But what about? Okay.
The two PTSD dwarves kind of hiding in the corner. I think you've given them like a dagger and a short sword earlier, and some leather armor, and you've bound and gagged Yarno. Like we can try and we could try and watch him if you need us to.
We need you too. We need you too. Let's go.
You want me to knock him out first? Okay, let's.
Poor Yarno. I'm starting to feel bad for this guy.
He's a kidnapper, a murderer, and a scumbag. Don't forget that.
He's just getting the shit beat out of him like
I would
every
claim to
day.
never figure out exactly how much that was under coercion.
I'm not sure if I'm the only Star Trek fan here or not, but I'm going to be like, you're going to be staying here, regardless of whether or not you are conscious.
Yes.
That Mr. Data moment.
All right, roll me a quick strength check to see if you can accurately knock them unconscious. I'm going to put you like between a couple numbers to see if you can do it. So just give me a D20, and if it's between these numbers, he's unconscious.
Okay.
Otherwise, All right. He's unconscious. He suffers a little bit of damage, but you do knock him. You do knock him out as he is bound, gag, unable to speak or move. You just thwack him down, and he just
I want to be. He's a
sack of
wizard.
potatoes.
I can fight a wizard off. I want to make this as convenient for our dwarven friends as possible.
Yeah, it was successful. So you guys can then start charging back into the house.
Hey, start running.
Back in the house, we now have.
I'm still not convinced. They've just said a bunch of gobbledygook. I still don't trust these people, and I'm still not putting this crossbow away.
Well, that's entirely fair. You're holding your crossbow. They're both at the doors.
Whatever that was. Who are you people, and why are you breaking into this house that we're lawfully breaking into?
We broke into it first.
Yes.
And I can't hear CJ.
Holly is like, it's my house. Like, I can break into it when I want to. Oh no, did we lose somebody?
There's
No, my
No.
headset
Okay.
wonked out for
you
a
were
second.
talking the whole time again.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like,
yeah. You saw my mouth moving, but nothing was coming out. Yeah, my headset's just being wonk. I need to buy a new one.
it's like, who are you people, and why are you here?
I mean, are you pointing the crossbow at anybody, or are you just kind of holding it down?
Sideways.
Sideways towards us or away from us?
Like a gangster.
Down.
Like
I was
you're
about to
holding it
say
off to its
gangsta
side.
style.
Like,
Right.
probably at this point at the Dragonborn's feet.
I pushed it down.
I mean, you really
Right,
want to point
You
something,
raised
my
it, it was
general?
pointed down.
Okay.
Half
But
the
he- but he
room
did
is your
ask-
general direction. You're
He
huge.
did ask-
I
You
know,
did ask
I know,
what
right?
you guys are doing here, and Halia did say like, something similar. Like it's like, what are you guys doing here? Things are a bit of a mess right now. Kind of pointing at herself and everything.
Right. I'll look at her and be like, the orders had its suspicions if it was actually you running things or not around here. They sent us to investigate.
Oh, gee.
Ooh.
Is someone getting me?
I slightly disconnected myself. I'm back.
Anyone
Okay.
else get that sound like Solid
she-
Snake was sending a message?
She kind of replies back like, "Well, that was a fairly good assumption. There's been quite a few things happening in Phandalin. I'm assuming that this creature," and she punches it one more time. Assuming this creature has been in contact with the Zentrum. He's been using my codes.
No, he wasn't smart enough to think of using codes at all was the problem.
Well, I know he gained some information from me. That's abilities, and she punches it one more time. She's trying to knock the thing unconscious.
I'll walk up
But
and punch it for her.
She is really not doing a good job at it. She's not very. She's exhausted. She's weak.
The Dragonborn will just go up and punch it for her real quick. Like, oh, is this what you're trying to do?
Roll me a strength check
I give this person a wide
or an attack. No, roll me an attack, and then we'll do damage.
What type of attack?
Has been receiving points of damage every time she punches it once.
Unarmed strike is a strength attack that you're proficient with.
Whatever thing you could do bludgeoning with your sword with the blunt side of it. You could do any of those attacks.
I mean, okay. So it's just
They're
gonna be
gonna-
a +6.
And they're going to be with advantage on the attack, so
Thank God.
because he is restrained.
So that's gonna be a 16 to hit.
So that'll hit. So roll
Um,
some damage, bludgeoning if you're doing the blunt side or the end of the sword or something.
Well, if I'm using just my unarmed strike bludgeoning damage, it's a straight 4 damage.
Okay. So you do another 4 damage to it,
Yep.
and it does seem to go limp and fall over. And Holly listens. Thank you. This thing has the ability to read minds, and I really didn't want to have this conversation while it was conscious.
I could understand that.
Okay, I'll lower the crossbow all the way. It's like, okay, I guess we're on the same side.
I would like to say, meanwhile, my character is in the back. She's pulled her hood down and she's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe she did it again."
Just punch something else. All right. Halia turns to you, Godwald, and she's like, I've met them in the past. I'm pretty sure they are who they say they are.
They haven't said
they
who they say they are.
Well, we shared our words. So they've, in their own way, told me that they're with my group, and I have met them in the past. Seems things have changed a little bit since I've been gone, but
Well, this is your house, so if you say so.
Things considered, in the situation that I'm in, I'm going to trust them for now.
Fair enough.
Feel free to act how you would.
If it would make you more comfortable, you could call me Azita.
Oh, right. And Azita and Holly turns to you, Sarah.
We all look at the person who hasn't said anything since entering the building.
This horned creature.
I cough and Novak.
I heard
Novak.
Novak.
Yeah, Novak.
Like the. Okay.
He's still connected, but he's not actually here, and he's one of the few people in this room. I hate my life.
Dirk's not in the room, is he?
No,
No,
Towson, he's
Bear
still
is
connected,
AFK.
but he's not here. He's one of the few people who's in this room at the time.
Okay.
Wait, what's going on over there?
It looks like Casey's trying to convince Joe to do something.
Joe, stop playing D&D.
No, that's a ridiculous joke, honey. How dare you suggest that?
You're all so funny. Yes, I am, darling.
Okay.
Hi, Casey. Bye, Casey. Okay,
Sorry, guys.
I'm at a bit of a loss
No,
between
you heard
our
him,
connection,
Could you hear
between our
us?
connection issues, people getting up and down, and all of this. I'm
So
at a bit of a
you
loss.
all work together.
Conversation.
Why are you here right when we happen to be here? If she's been replaced for 2.5 years, and you have some sort of actual organization, did it take you this long, or?
No one ever said the leads were the brightest people.
Can I still hear this through the stone? Am I catching any of this?
The stone is for messages, so if
In the sake of-
Towson has picked it up and has activated it, then potentially, but he hasn't said anything like that. So the stone in your hand is dead.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk into it and be like, hey, we're on our way back, guys. As I'm out of breath and running another mile.
I'm gonna talk back and just be like 10-4, good buddy. I don't know what that means, but
Okay. So.
So. Sorry.
Do we have to hand him over to you two?
Didn't one of us find like an interrogation kit?
You did. You took it.
You
That's
did.
all you.
Yeah, you did. Dirk did.
And it's knocked out now, so.
I thought
Dang.
so.
So
Only
do
a-
you want us to hand him
Zeta
over?
will look at Helia and then look around at the party and just be like, is it safe to discuss things with these people here?
I am doing whisper communication now. I apologize as DM to be a little distracted at this point.
There's a lot going on.
All right.
There is. Especially between all the disconnects and everything else. All right,
Is that
guys.
2010?
My new players. I gave you some reminder information in our little chat.
Thank you,
Ow.
but for some odd reason, those messages are not popping up for me.
Oh,
I had
cool.
the same issue and I got cut from this call. I had to look them up on my Discord app on my phone.
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna send them via whispers.
No, I'll just look at my phone. I've been trying to keep up.
Somehow that refreshed while the other one did not. No clue.
Nope. Well, I guess it used an enter inside the copy paste and posted the rest of the conversation
Yeah.
out there. So that's cool. So part of that message is private. I guess I have to watch out for that when taking copy and pastes from Discord. So that's a fun new thing.
Hey, you're talking to the guy who posted Peanut Bubber in the wrong chat. So
You what? We
Yeah,
can talk
no,
about that
good.
another time.
I
What
was
was
wondering.
Good.
Wow.
So, does one of you say these things?
I
that
was
we know?
wondering what that was. I thought you had a stroke.
Well, like I said,
I would hope. I would hope
asked
one of you does
Helia-
reply those things. Why don't one of you just say it?
Well, I asked Helia if it was safe to discuss things in front of this group of people, but you were so busy typing you didn't respond.
Yeah, I trust Sparkle Motion much farther than I can throw them.
Hearing the name Sparkle Motion and Zeta just kind of like snickers.
Fair.
She kind of glances at you and a little curled smile on her lips. Is like, I know, right? But yeah, and then I imagine one of the two of you says something along the lines of the
Yeah,
information
and
that I
then-
posted.
And then I'll speak up and be like, a few nights back, we broke into the miners' exchange without, well, I guess, this creature's knowledge and found the location of the mine. So with that information, we decided to start heading towards the mine, but saw you with this group of people on the back of a cart and thought we'd best come back to find out what was going on.
Fair.
Because when we broke into the miners' exchange, your records, they were just... You used the old ton. They weren't carried in the new ton.
So the information that basically can come out here is that these two are, and I'm just gonna, because I'm fucking it up this whole conversation, I might as well just fuck it all really hard as the DM. Basically, they come out and to tell you guys that they're on a mission to find out whether or not Halia was Halia. Their communications with the Zentrum were out of date, and so because the doppelganger didn't get current information, they got suspicious. They came here. They found the location of the mine by breaking into the exchange after hours. Were on their way there. Saw you guys on the way there. Saw you guys on your way back. And then hurried back to town to try and catch up with you. After your breaks and everything, this is about the time where they were able to then come here
Yep.
and get the situation cleared up.
And just then, Jerk and Pew Bear bust through the door.
we do it like
Yeah, you
Door
guys.
is-
buddy
Do you
movie
guys come
style.
through the? You guys gonna try and come to the front door, or are you gonna try and hop through the window?
No,
I'm,
no
I'm
one
gonna
has
I'm gonna go
unbolted
through the
my
window.
door.
I'm gonna go through the window again.
You closed that window.
I know, but I
Yeah,
didn't
you
latch
He's
it.
gotta open it again.
I didn't lock
It
it.
has no latch. It no longer has a latch, so
Yeah.
he can
So you're
just.
just gonna walk up to it, open it, and dive through.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was kind of
Happy
doing
Bear.
like a
You
Two
watch that
Brothers
happen.
explosion entry.
Can Pubert get through the window?
I'm gonna ask
I'm
why we're
curious.
doing the window.
I'm curious which way P Bear wants to attempt to enter the room.
Well, P-Bear is easily led, so if Jerk says we're going through the window, we're going through the window.
Okay. Just for fun, like a quick athletics check. I'm sure P Bear can beat this no way, but I'm picture this. It's gonna be a little difficult because the window is not really sized for a humanoid creature wearing heavy armor.
That
So
makes
I'm gonna bump the DC up just a little bit.
okay. Actually, would it be disadvantage because of that?
Armor check
If you were
penalty
gonna do
doesn't
it
really
quiet.
work that way in 5e.
Yeah.
Yeah. So P Bear kind of gets stuck in the window, like just because it's just he's got so much gear, the backpack, the heavy armor, and then he was able to climb up there easily enough, but not quite squeeze through at first.
Okay. Have him roll.
After a moment of squirming and wriggling, he can get through.
I'm gonna
but it's
help him. I'm gonna grab him by the arms and help pull him in.
Is this
Oh,
being
yeah,
stealthy?
yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Dragging him through the window, he kind of like crashes down onto like a small table that was there and into the chest.
Okay.
The weight of it, the weight of Pubert on the chest does not crush it. And so you kind of bounce and roll on the ground, and you're able to stand up. And
You calling me?
now
Okay.
everyone
Now-
is here,
I want to turn
You're
to him
peeking.
except
again,
for Sparkle Gem, who's gone.
and I'm gonna
Sparkle
say,
Jab did not like the large creature. She dipped the fuck out of dodge.
I'm gonna turn to him and again say, "Hail and well met, travelers."
Go hail yourself.
And then I'm gonna say, "We're a family. It takes care of us, and we take care of it."
I'm gonna look confused
Like,
between the two of
Are
them.
you also
Shit. So now I gotta look up the response to that.
like Jack?
Well, actually, he's said the entire phrase without waiting for the response. So
Well, that's
you can just
okay.
kinda
Yeah.
look at
it's
him.
enough. And like, like, are you also part of this?
Jerk, are you?
Let's go.
I'll look at Godwall like
I say,
It's like, Pubert, are you hiding something from me too?
Halia looks at Jerk and says,
I
think,
stole your wooden horse when you were like 5.
I think the information that you
I
were
found the
given is
pieces.
a little out of date.
That wasn't the right way.
And things have changed a little bit. We can talk about the new words a little bit later, but I know these two, and I may not have worked with them directly in the past, but I've met them, and given the situation,
okay.
I'm going to trust them.
I'm going to calmly and carefully and slowly pull out basically the torture kit, and I'm gonna hand it to the big lizard.
You what? The what? I haven't heard about this before.
The interrogation kit.
The interrogation tools he picked up from the dungeon.
I
Also,
was not involved in
Taliesin,
this.
Yes.
Taliesin, you can go ahead and add a sending stone to your inventory.
Oh yeah.
You and Jerk can now communicate via
you-
these sending stones.
Can you hear me,
Okay.
bud?
Oh, we did. You froze.
You gotta stop
Yeah.
trying to talk.
Yeah, we heard. Can you hear me? By just kind of was trailed off
frozen
into
too?
robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he froze.
Damn it! I hate tonight.
So like upon given these torture tools, the like lizard kind of bounces up and down a little, like really excited, causing like the table and the chair to like shake around it as it's like looking over at Novak with like
The way.
happy and joy, and almost as
Oh,
if
wait,
it's
we
waiting
heard him for a second.
permission.
I think he has snow.
But
It
it's
all
like yeah, she looks like
We got
over
a
at
little snow
Novak
going on.
with like hope in her eyes that she's actually allowed to use these like in her eyes a toy, like
This-
play with a toy.
Like
Novak
this
does
looks
have a
like 'cause it's
response.
exchanging hands.
What does Novak say?
Novak rubs the side of her face and her eyes. And she confiscates the tools.
So you just reach out a hand for them,
puts
Yeah.
it in
take
her
them,
pack,
and then put them away.
I would-
saying
hear me okay?
maybe another day.
Yeah. I'd also like to
Halia-
politely ask Pubert to go put the door back up, even if it's not on its hinges, just so people can't stare into this building.
I will comply.
Has everybody moved inside at this point? Then
Yeah.
okay, you're all
That's fine.
inside Halia Thornton's house.
Novak would also.
Holly does look at Novak and say, we'll probably need those a little bit later to find out what we can find out from this thing.
My character would also like to explain to the group, don't give sharp, pointy objects to her. Not a good idea.
I should I be worried that she has like
a great
several
sword.
dozen pointy objects already?
Yes.
Then I will remain worried.
I think you should roll for it,
Anybody-
Oz.
I mean, after
Anybody high in perception want to roll me a quick perception check?
that character's not
If
there.
you're proficient, if you're proficient in it.
I'm
Godwald,
trying
you do notice that the doppelganger, having been knocked out by this very large dragonborn creature, is not looking very great. Taliesin, Jerk, yeah, you definitely notice the same. Oh man, that really hurt that thing. It's
So I ask,
doing so well.
I say, can those things change size as well? Is there a way to restrain it, like, permanently? Because if it can shapeshift, it can get out of those ropes. We need to do something about that.
Why don't my new Zentrum agents roll me an intelligence check? See if you remember something about these kinds of creatures.
12. I'm pretty dumb.
I would like to roll to stabilize the creature,
Okay.
if necessary.
And Novak, you want to give me a quick intelligence check?
It's a
What you
D20,
would do-
right?
Yep, that's it. Most of the
All-
stuff I'm gonna ask you for is gonna be a D20. If it's
Basically-
not, it's gonna be probably like some kind of damage type that you're rolling. So I probably won't ask you for something other than a D20 most times.
Yep,
Those
you.
5 D20. So that's a lot of D20s. Why don't you try rolling one D20?
No, you get 5.
There we
I
go.
love it. I love it so much. This is great.
And then add
All
some
right, so
mod
can
to
these
that.
things say they only slightly. So if you like what
Oh, you can't see it.
Novak and I'm sorry, what was your name again? Because you only just
Azita.
Novak and Azita know is that they can change size slightly, but not drastically. If you tie it up tight enough, it probably won't be able to go anywhere. But keeping an eye on it is either way is going to be a good idea. Maybe a cage or
We could take
or
its legs
something
off.
would be best.
I'm okay with that.
It'll grow back, right? They always grow back.
I would like to check if this thing is actually dying.
I mean, Azita will like.
Were you going to roll to stabilize? You going to give me a medicine check? I heard roll to stabilize.
You fuck him
Yeah,
more
no,
than he already
like,
is.
It does seem to be just like very shallow breath, and
Like I'm not even sure where this thing's organs are.
like it just kind of generally is like and is a bruise is forming on its face where it was punched by this giant dragonborn. It doesn't look well.
Is it
I don't know if
facing?
anyone else is proficient in medicine. But,
I think Taliesin
Holly
might be.
notices.
It's like
Holly doesn't notice, so
I get-
Talison's gone again.
it's like if I feel it, then
I think
it'll
I fixed
wake
it
up
again.
and the
I
dragon
can
might
hear
be
you.
mad at me.
Yeah, I know.
I think we're definitely dealing with internet connection problems in this city. But Taliesin, if you do what, if you have noticed, and your perception is probably high enough that this creature was smacked hard enough that it actually seems like it, like the concussion as
Might
it's
kill it.
as it's unconscious and the concussion is not looking well for it.
Mm,
You could
11.
roll. You probably would have noticed just with your passive, but you could roll a medicine check to try and stabilize it.
I just rolled an
If you
11.
want.
Oh, on medicine.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask for the medicine check before you rolled it. You can roll it.
I heard
Or
I
take the
heard
11.
you.
Okay. All right. So the 11.
I was I was listening through my phone. Sorry.
Yeah, then you are able to like stabilize it up to what is essentially like a hit point, and it is unconscious. It kind of like get its heart started up again. Yeah, give it a little bit of CPR. Like, oh god, okay, hold on, we need to interrogate you.
Yeah. All right, he's
Like,
still alive.
They tried like
I think I've got him.
Which now Holly notices, and she's like, "Oh, thank God, thank you," and she thanks Utalis and hand on the shoulder, like, "Thanks. I really want to get the information from him. I know this
Maybe
is
he
a
should have a
strange
bigger
meeting,
head.
but I know this is a strange meeting between all of us, and it seems like odd timing. But um, and she turns to Novak and Avita. No,
Azita.
Azita, and like I do want to try to keep this secret. I don't want people to know that that this creature was impersonating me, so that I can keep the miners exchange running and keep this as a point of contact for us as the Zentrum here in Phandalin. So let's try and keep this quiet as we can. Um, there are a couple dwarves and a prisoner that we may need to, convince to stay quiet about it. And she kind of looks at Pubert and Godwald, and if we were going to tell the Lord's Alliance about this, I would also like try and keep that quiet with them. So hopefully you can understand that this is not only my livelihood, but this is our connection here in town.
And I'll stress to Pubert that this isn't a bad thing. This is a group that the what's this alliance called again?
The Lord's Alliance?
The
Yeah.
Xantrum?
The Lord's
thing that you're a
Alliance.
part of?
The Lord's
Lord's
Alliance have hired them for protection in the past. Like, this is a good group.
is that a fact?
Roll me an insight to see if you believe him or not. And Jerk, roll me a persuasion roll to see how well you are
Or would it
persuading
be
Pubert
deception?
and Godwald.
Should it be persuasion or something else?
You shouldn't say that out loud.
I have to say it because I'm asking you for the modifiers. So it's persuasion on Jerk's part, and Godwald and Pubert, roll me your insight to see if you
Why are
believe him
none
or
of-
not.
How fitting.
And Jerk,
Hold on.
well, this will be good. I feel like he's going to convince Pubert, but then not convince Godwald.
Oh! How do you whisper again? W slash?
/W.
Slash W.
And then
Yeah.
it should fill in the name if you've done it right.
If you just, start with the letter. I think we all start with a different letter. So.
Yeah, I accidentally hit DM instead of GM.
Yeah, that's a difference in this game.
Because you could play other games here that are not Dungeons and Dragons.
Oops.
Do.
All right.
All right, so where are we at this point? She's asked everybody to keep quiet. Like, I don't see any reason to tell.
Like that part I get. Because okay. I mean,
you both believe and in reality understand that Jerk is telling the truth. The Zentrum have been hired by the Lord's Alliance in the past. Halia can kind of chime in. The Zentrum are, the Zentrum usually have the most powerful mercenaries, some of the strongest spies. We're an organization that is our talents are sought after throughout all of Faerun. And you guys wholeheartedly believe Jerk.
Yep.
I mean, wholeheartedly.
Because Jerk is just a stand-up guy.
I might just leave the Lord's Alliance and join them.
Fine.
Oh, I love that so much.
I mean, so the main person directly affected by this, the victim, is saying, "Can we keep this?" Okay, yeah, that sounds reasonable, and I will still be telling Sildar what's happened here.
Okay. Yeah, she basically just asked that, like, what we do? Can we like
In
approach
private.
it? Well, can we approach it with him? Because I really don't want to lose my business, and, like lose all of the goodwill that I've spent years earning here. And
I suspect
Even-
the town would not want to lose you either.
we do it, but you know, I think that if they found out that I'd been you know, duped and that captured and the town has essentially been taken advantage of, they'll lose faith in me immediately, and that will destroy my business.
Well, there is two
Sorry, I
and a
just think it's
half
funny. It's
years.
like that they find out that they've been duped.
There is
Do
two
it
and a
for
half
love,
years.
guys.
Do it for love, guys. Come on, for love.
Oh, right. Sure,
Can you
of course.
hear me at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up?
Only now.
Okay. Only now? God, my headset is such a POS.
We can hear you. Say it.
Would you like to call in?
Oh my God. I totally forgot what I was going to say because I'm a brain spaz.
I'm very happy for you.
I finally got it working. No. Azita will look over at Helia and be like, maybe you have been gone for quite some time from what we could tell. Maybe it's best if we all spend the night here and get you up to pace before we allow you to reopen your doors.
Oh, definitely change your sheets.
It's like, yeah, I'm definitely going to, you know, go through everything here to try to figure out what, if anything,
CJ,
I can glean from
What?
what is.
you looked so confused. That was a doppelganger joke.
Oh.
Because even if she was wearing pajamas, it was naked and gross.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't figure out why he said you might want to change
Someone's
your
been
sheets.
living in this house for 2.5 years,
Well,
following her daily routine.
so actually, with that, Holly is going to start looking around her home to see if she can find anything that's in here. And yeah, it's like, if this creature has been operating as me for the last 2.5 years, but maintaining contact with everyone, it definitely seems like its intent was to keep the location of Wave Echo Cave secret. If other people haven't been allowed to know its location, and as the proprietor of the Miners Exchange, um, they haven't revealed the location in order to allow nearby claims to various areas of the mine. Um, then I think that we could open up and probably start doing business as we normally would. I imagine that Kundrin and Nundro would want to get in contact with their family back in Mirabar and to start to properly operate a mine. If in time it's revealed that this has happened, but I've been back for a while. It could probably survive. Something's going to happen, but this is a tough situation for me. I hate these people for taking so much of my life and my own, just my well-being from me. I really want to do something to these people. These arms of Lolth, the 8 of them, or however many there are.
We will. We're gonna get him.
So does she
Alright.
say this to like everybody?
She's saying it, speaking of, she trusts all
She
of you
trusts
in the room in general.
Sparkle Gem and all of us. So
Sparkle motion.
Sparkle motion.
yeah, not Sparkle Gem. Jesus
She,
Christ.
she does not trust the gnome who ran off and isn't here.
Yeah, they trust that gnome so much. Hey, first sign of trouble, she dipped. Are you guys mad at her for it? Like,
I on a scale
little
of
odd.
1 to this is par for the course.
Yeah, I expected no less from her.
This is
All right. With our connection issues and the sort of just general chaos that has caused in our attempts to role play this evening, is this a fine place for us to like take a breather and try to maybe pick up next week, or do you want to like going either way?
Yeah.
You know what? I want you guys to like talk about it. I'm gonna do a quick bio, like real quick, and I'll be right back.
I think that depends on the answer I get from CJ.
what was that? Anybody know what that was happening there? Anyway,
Not
so-
once for yes and twice for no.
wait, what? No, I'm not even that hot. Or yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not. Just no.
so we
Just
met
no.
the tall, brash dragonborn.
No, it's
and
actually a green dragonborn. I said
brash,
her.
not brass, brash.
Oh. Yeah, no, she's very, very brash. She's just like, yeah, I'm big, I'm strong. Yeah,
With a very quiet big sister.
yeah.
Yeah, because I have to deal with that every day.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
there's this. So
And
it
Sparkle
brings to
Gem
mind-
is soon going to be a ring that I have to hear in my head
now. Judge me if
for
you
the
wish,
rest
but
of
there's
my
this.
life.
There's this scene in
Maybe.
Homestuck where one of the people is like making it full of themselves. The other's like, "I'm so sorry, guys. We are actually way cooler than this." And one of the guys like, "Are you actually?" No, we are not.
I mean,
Well, no, honestly, I don't think this meeting could have gone any better. I instantly disappeared and I came back with a big boy who couldn't get through the window.
right?
Like
Front
this is
door being
pretty much
available.
this is 100% par for the course. Like
Yeah,
you guys,
this is totally
it's like-
sparkle motion, 100%.
it's like some Scooby Doo shit.
All right. I don't know what you guys decided or talked about, but basically, Holly can look around the room and talk to the members of Sparkle Motion that are here, and say, with Azita and Novak here, I feel confident that we can take care of interrogating our prisoner and getting the information that we want. I understand that Godwald, Prepare, you guys want to share this information with the Lord's Alliance. I would ask that perhaps we could do that together tomorrow when daylight comes, in order to hopefully, again, like I mentioned, hold my secrets so that I don't lose my business on top of everything else that I've lost already. And I feel safe with the two of them and holding the prisoner here in the house. If you guys want to go about and do your business, and we all meet back up in the morning, I'm sure the inn could, if they have the rooms, that they're still available, and perhaps Mama Piterbottom wants to see her boys again.
As much as I love Mama Piterbottom, I feel I should stay here.
Yeah, I should be there to assist with guarding the
No.
guarding Yarno, who is not there at the moment.
So, Azita
That's
will
not what they
like
meant.
walk up to Pooh Bear, and I assume she's tall enough where she just stares down at him.
Hold on. How
So-
tall is Pooh Bear?
6'4".
In
Oh,
armor.
yeah.
She's 6'7".
6'7". Yeah, 6'7".
She is
She
got
is taller.
3 inches on him.
So that's what, to chin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are looking
Yeah,
down.
so she'll just kind of look down at her and flare her nostrils out and cross her arms and be like, I don't think I need help from a puny person guarding anybody.
Well, then it's a good thing you've got me.
She's going to
Was
like.
that an intimidation check on Pubert?
Well, no, it was more just like a sizing him up. So she's going to like offer her hand to like shake his hand now.
Ooh, this is. There's been this trope in my other game where the burliest character makes friends through handshakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It'd be a common thing.
Yeah.
Azita extends a hand to Pubert.
He will
to
definitely
shake over the statement. All
Okay,
right,
she's going to give like the most heartfelt shake she's ever given somebody. Like, just really excited about this handshake.
I'm going to need contesting strength checks from.
And this is how it works. It's great.
Hold on, because I need.
From my big tough guys.
So that's a 22.
Okay.
Like, whoa.
Wait, 22. Maybe a 23. Let me double check my sheet.
You have 20 strength?
No, I have. Yeah, so that's a plus.
Well, it was an 18 plus your strength.
3, so 21. My bad. Yeah.
21.
Either way.
There is just run all the way across town.
As she extends her hand and Pubert like reaches up to grasp it, she gives one of those like really hard squeezes that is definitely intended to like assert dominance, and your hand like kind of crumples a bit under the weight of this pressure. Just unexpected. You're used to being like the biggest, toughest guy in the room,
being soft.
and like being softer than another person, the aggressiveness of it, you suffer 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Ow! I'm just imagining that cartoon like thumping when the hand is red.
Yeah, basically. And then at that, Azito's just going to like laugh and walk away from Pubert.
It's like,
Little
Tiny human.
Not even that tiny compared to you, still like pushing the limit.
I know.
9. I thought you were like, or 6,
I
like 10, something like really like pushing.
I may have
7
made
feet.
it 6 times. I thought maybe I made her bigger, but I thought it was 6, 7. Let me double check.
I'd like to take a better look at Azita now that the tension
Oh yeah, no,
is
you're
down.
6'7". Okay.
Yeah.
Catherine.
No, I thought you were
Jones.
closer to pushing 7 foot.
That's exactly what I thought. I keep thinking.
Yeah, I
of
may be pushing
Sean
closer
Connery
to 7.
going.
It helps that they
Azita
stand tall.
Jones."
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I
your
can always
last-
crank
this
her height
will
up 3
literally.
inches.
I was gonna say this is literally your. I will allow this to be your last opportunity because you did just like finish these last details I asked you.
Yeah,
Go,
I
so
know.
If you are
I'll make her
6 foot,
6'10". I'll make her
6'10" or 6'11", okay.
I'll make her 6'10".
So after the
Wow,
handshake, she grows about 3-4 inches.
She's
Yeah.
always been almost 7 feet because we talked about it
We
earlier.
talked about it, and I
was
think
like,
I
she's
just
7
put
foot,
in. Yeah,
and so yeah, you.
we talked
put in
about it.
something
I
different than
just
what we
put in
talked about.
different because I'm a dumbass.
Canonically, I already said she was 7 feet tall.
So for the end of this night, we're all taking a nap, right? We're going to bed, taking a rest.
Yeah, there is no back door to this building.
Okay.
The
I'll just stand
only
in the way.
the only cell that you
I
know
would like
about
to
in
fix the
town
door.
is at the town master's hall. Do you have the ability to mend things?
I got mending this level.
You do.
I can fix each issue if the issue is a square foot or less each issue.
If somebody holds the door up, you can mend the hinges that Taliesin primally slashed down and then kicked the door
Primally
in.
savaged.
You're
Primally
gonna
savaged the
you're
door.
gonna mend all my hard work.
Yes, I am.
All
It's
right,
like
so
I can't
yeah,
fix a whole door, but I can fix hinges.
Then yeah, we could totally say that you guys all like collectively want to stay in the same space. You're going to leave the dwarves out a mile north from town with the wizard, and all sleep here in the evening. And I think it's probably
I
after
feel like
all of
that's
this
a bad
That's a
idea.
terrible
30,
idea.
9 o'clock.
Yes.
Hey, Pubert,
Shit.
you want to go and get the cart and
You got
enter
it.
town proper now that there's no one we know about actively seeking our doom in town?
I will go with him.
Okay.
I would
So
like to.
Kubert and Taliesin.
Okay, everyone who's not part of a secret organization, hopefully. Taliesin, are you part of a secret organization?
Yeah, but you guys know about it.
Okay.
So if
Let's
we're
go.
talking about secret organizations,
Ugh.
just like game knowledge, DM thing here. The Hand of Yartar are the spies.
No, I'm not. I
The
don't know anything
Harpers-
about that.
The Harpers well, you guys know about these things because as a party you've collectively talked about your experience on.
Oh yeah, that.
No,
The Hand of
I've
Yartar
talked to you
definitely,
guys about the Handy Yartar.
Are
They're the
definitely
ones who set
spies,
me
right?
up.
I'm like,
Right.
but of the two people, like,
The Harpers kind of push that boundary as individual agents forward. I think that's part of what Talison's a part of. The Lord's Alliance is the most overt organization, as they very openly operate across
Yeah.
all of the Sword Coast. They are basically a collection of lords of cities in the Sword Coast that operate out of Waterdeep. The Zentrim are typically like, I guess you could look at them as like a mercenary organization. They're often hired by other people to do tasks, and so they're a little more open as well, but not quite as much as the Lord's Alliance. What Jerk did say earlier was true about the Zentrim have been hired
I was
by the
convinced.
Lord's Alliance in the past. I think that's all the organizations that everybody's a part of.
No, I would just say
Right?
this
Yeah.
because it's the middle of the night and Godwald is exasperated with everything that's gone on.
This is
Okay, then let's go.
generic organizations of people. I guess you also know about like different religious organizations, like the Order of Bahamut and stuff like that too. But those are more
Anyway,
God
so
and
yes,
deity oriented. So all right, so Jerk and Hubert and Taliesin go.
Oh no,
back
I'm
up to
gonna
the cart.
stay.
me
Sorry.
and Pubert and Taliesin.
So Godwald, Hubert, and Taliesin go off to get the cart, bring it out in front of Halia's. Go to Barthen's.
I was just gonna park it at Barthen's as if this is us now actually getting into town, not being subtle about it.
Yeah, so you guys go to Barthen's. As you bring the cart up, nobody's waiting outside as they might be like during the day out and about. But if you knock in the building and you say you want to, like house the cart and the animals there, they'll board them all with everything that you have, cart and animals included, like 2 gold for the evening.
Sure.
We are the heroes of Phandalin.
I'm
We
too
do
tired to
hero.
argue. It's fine. It's fine.
Right, it's
I just
night.
hand it over.
So somebody
Mhm.
marks 2 gold off, then they'll take
Like
them.
I'm too. Yeah, I'm just tired of this,
Barthen's.
like,
It's Barthen's like younger men assistants like come out and like they house your animals up so that your stuff is generically safe, I suppose, in the stables, and your cart is parked there.
fair.
We should probably lead the people in the cart over to where everyone else is. And
Well, before
And-
that happens, I would like to go up to Azita and extend my hand, and I
Like,
want to.
while we're traveling.
Yeah, I want to tell her. The Zenorim mantra that I know, it means more than just a secret handshake. The Zentrum are a family, and I will do whatever I can for the cause.
She'll like shake his hand in return, making sure not to like overpower him because she's afraid she might break his feeble little arms.
I think Jerk's pretty big as far as the character goes too.
Is
Like
he?
Jerk and P Bear are both pretty tall, large. Although Jerk's kind of lanky.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
6'9", but
I
I'm
imagine
built like a
him-
Hi.
runner.
I would say, I'm sure
6'9",
you
but
have
he's
like these little
Not-
noodle arms.
No, I'm
compared to
6
my,
foot.
like-
Sorry,
long. They're
I
just
was gonna say
long.
you're 6'9".
I was gonna say
6
that's
foot. 6
yeah,
foot.
huge.
Six
Whoa.
6 foot, kind of more longer limbs. He's lithe, not built.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you shake his hand and take. I like that. You take the caution not to.
Not to crush his hands. And I'll just be like, kind of like just nod at him, like an acknowledgement, almost like I understand firsthand
Also-
what he's saying.
I get you, bro.
Also, for Jerk and Novak, this is the first time that either of you have seen a tiefling, other than yourselves, obviously,
Ooh.
in quite some time, like potentially years, that you've seen another person of your own race.
I also ask her, was it your mom or dad?
That's totally something you would say.
As Novak, I narrow my eyes. I'm very upset you approached my little sister, and I'm not very forthcoming.
No, I approached you,
But
not
I'm
your
not
sister.
aggressive.
No, the fact that you came close to me in
Ah.
general bothers Novak.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I am
Because
taking mental notes.
it's my little sister. I gotta protect her in all she does. And I'll let her do whatever she does, but I have to fucking like deal with it afterwards. So
So when Jerk like goes up to shake your hand and asks like, was it your mom or your dad? You just kind of blow off the question.
Give him a look.
give a look like, why are you asking? Why does it matter?
What does Jerk do?
Jerk says, it was my mom. And then as I walk by, the big one, whose
The
name
big one. Azita.
I pat her on the back, and I say, "You've got a good keeper." And then I go like, just walk to the other corner of the room and almost pee my pants.
Hi. What?
Upon like hearing him praise Novak, Azita's going to run up and hug Novak and just be like, "Yeah, she's the best big sister."
Does you hugging her cause her to lift off the ground?
Oh yeah, easily. I'm just like picking her up and hugging her, like
yeah.
carrying her around.
Yeah, I'm 5'5", so I'm tiny.
Oh yeah, especially compared to almost 7 foot.
With my
Yeah.
horns, I'm like 5'8", but like my height is like 5'5".
Yeah, she's super tiny, and I'm just picking her up and carrying her around. Like, yeah, this is my big sister.
I kind of want to look for a shadow because that was my thing. I don't have a shadow in the candlelight or whatever. Does
Oh yeah, like what are your tiefling features? Like so Jerk's very obviously a kind of almost comically bright red, right? Like you were like
I'm-
standard devil red, right?
I'm bright red, I have sharp teeth, and I don't cast a shadow.
Yeah, but Novak has horns.
I got
And-
twisted antelope horns, so they're like twisted and spiraled.
Oh, like up.
I am a dark red. I got dark purple hair. Kind of the same haircut I have right now. Because I like my haircut. And I have a tail. Because I want a tail. So.
I was trying to be less obvious, but then I rolled red skin.
Yeah, you rolled for all your things, and so that was the no shadow, sharp teeth, and red skin stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
I was just going for straight tiefling.
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
Like. Definitely Taliesin, as a wanderer who's been throughout like a variety of places in Faerun, this is an opportune meeting. You've never quite seen. Yeah, you've seen tieflings, obviously ones in your party, but like
Mhm.
seeing two of them in the same place talking to each other is definitely fascinating.
I'm just like, well, so are we back with everybody now?
Yeah, you guys are all in Holly's
Okay.
house, I think.
So I'm just kind of like watching this interaction, sitting on the floor and like talking to my pipe, like, huh, it's a little weird. I haven't seen two of these people in within 5 feet of each other before.
I hear him mumbling, and I say, "What do you mean these people?"
Cool.
Oh snap!
Well, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to this inanimate object over here. Leave me alone.
I
Okay, elf.
And I would say definitely, like Godwald seeing the tieflings together, definitely kind of strikes you as odd. But being in the presence of a dragonborn and Bahamut being your
yeah, that
sort of,
doesn't
like,
happen. That
yeah,
really doesn't happen.
yeah, you really don't see that very often, but it is in a way kind of comforting. Like it feels like that perhaps the Bahamut had a hand in bringing a dragonborn into your life.
So since everybody's
The
here,
Lord works in
you're
mysterious
sick,
ways.
Exactly.
I'm going to
Hey,
assume we kind of have a fire going.
hey, P-Bear, you want
Uh,
to just like go home?
Well,
There
Yeah,
is
I
a
think it's
hearth.
about that
There
time.
is a hearth in the house, and yeah, I would say
We gotta
P-Bear
find
is
a secret
probably
organization
a
we
little
can join.
yeah. P-Bear's probably a little freaked out by
Like
the
they
devil
can keep
people.
doing their secret society stuff. We could just like I don't know, go home and get the dwarves some solid food for the first time in a long time.
well, one of the
But he's
devil
also
people's
cool with the
a very
dragonborn.
good friend.
There is a fireplace, a hearth in Halia's home, and you guys can light a fire in there. Actually, it was just lit by dim oil lamps before. Thankfully, none of those were knocked over as you all charged into the house. Didn't burn the house down or anything. That's nice.
For once, we didn't set everything on fire.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah,
I've never set anything on fire. I've
It's
been
a
set on fire.
I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
that was
Nobody's.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
like, is that a fact?
I haven't
at
set
my-
anybody on fire.
Is that a
No,
fact?
you definitely have. You definitely.
No,
I
Sparkle
Meredith-
Gem
Meredith's
has.
house.
I haven't.
do you not do fire?
Sparkle Gem
Hmm?
is
No, I don't breathe
missing.
fire.
I then
Yeah, should we do that right now? Should we end the night with Sparkle Gem running off?
If
Not
she's
to be
chipped,
rude,
it's
but-
fine.
Yes.
Yeah, we should. All right.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Does she go back to the hand? Does she become my mortal enemy?
and does she just crawl back into the bag until someone else opens it again?
She
She's a
took that.
genie in a sack.
All right. So this one. So
It
this
disappeared
part
with our
is-
last cards.
All right, I got a little tired of like trying to whisper to everybody all the time, so I'm just gonna say that this piece of interaction doesn't, like, you guys don't quite know about this unless she comes back and tells you about it, right? So I don't know if she's going to or not, but we can run through this real quick. So Sparkle Gem runs off from Talia's house.
Scared as shit by a dragonborn.
And that may be the main reason, or it may be that she wanted to go and make contact with someone. But you arrive at Sparkle Gem arrives at the Lion Shield Coster,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not quite late enough as you normally would be, like, approaching the building, but you do approach the back door, give a knock, and Leanne Greywind answers the door, comes outside. She sees you, recognizes you, and says, "Ah, so you came back from the Lost Mine. I think that you're the first since Gundren and his goons. Everyone else who goes looking doesn't seem to come back to Phandalin. Or at least not if they are in the area that we all seem to think that the Wave Echo Cave is located. How did everything go?"
Sparkle Gem's going, like, respond a little panted because she just ran over here. And she's going to be like, the cave itself went fine, but there's weird people in town. What do we know of them? They're scary. They're large.
Oh, what do you mean weird? Who have you seen?
A huge
I've been keeping
dragonborn
an eye
scared.
out.
She's just going to respond and cut her off and be like, a huge dragonborn scared the crap out of me.
Oh, I think I may have seen a dragonborn and a tiefling pass through the inn a few days ago. But they didn't seem to stop and really talk to anyone, at least from what I was able to gather. So I don't know much about them. Have you encountered them? What happened?
It stood near me and I ran. Okay, I'm sorry.
I understand. They can. Dragonborn can be quite scary, especially if they're sounds like large that you're describing. Well, so have you come to exchange magic items, or are you looking for some new information, some news?
I was looking for more news actually, because the Wave Echo Cave is now cleared out. We're going to send more people in there to get that operating for our more magic items in the long run.
Cleared out? You mean Gundren and those men he seemed to hire and we never saw again? They didn't clean the cave out themselves. It's been so strange that
It's such a busy dramatic mess down there. No one can make sense of it. We need to go and take full control and find everything out for ourselves before we're able to get everything going.
Do you have the location of the mine? If I brought out this map, would you be able to mark where it is for me?
Perhaps in due time. I have business associates within my own that I need to make sure are okay with this before I split profits further.
I understand, but maybe I can sweeten the pot. I have some important news for you and Jerk. Uh, you know, if you're interested, I'm willing to exchange for the location of the mine.
With a heavy sigh, Sparkle Gem will just put a dot right on to it because she knows, like, if it involves Jerk, it's some serious news. But she's not going to put it, like, right where the cave is, but maybe, like, a mile and a half away from the entrance she went in.
It's about
You've
nearby.
lost karma.
All right, then roll me deception.
Deception? Got it.
Yep.
13 plus my 8, so that's a 21 deception.
Okay. She accepts the mark. Thanks. That's where we'll start searching. Well, I was probably gonna tell you this anyways. Maybe, right? But I thought you'd want to know. It seems that Elfried has been impersonating possibly a duchess at Baldur's Gate. There's an opportunity that if you want to join a troupe of performers, you may be able to get close enough to verify that Elfried is there and Lathander willing. Kill her and gain your vengeance, and hopefully also clear a bit of our name as the Hand of Yartar.
When do the performers leave?
They're going to be in a town of Tribor for the next day. If you take a horse and leave tonight or in the next few hours, you can probably make it and meet up with our contact there. It's a troupe of dancers known as the Circus of the Sun. They're female dancers that are often chosen for their high-skilled acrobatic performances to perform for various nobles and other people in power. Not only that, but their sex appeal and loose morals make them a highly valued thing amongst the nobles. I can get you in with this letter, and if you go now, you might be able to find that person you're looking for and let your friend know where he can find his revenge.
I'll do that. My only question is what Elfried taught us, Jerk and I, true that males are really only patsies in this sect? Because if that's the case, Jerk is not going to want to stay past her
Well,
death.
Jerk's been a member, and what Elfried has done has not been by order of the organization. It's true that we work mainly for the interests of a oppressed class, women in Faerun, but we're not here to attack the other gender. We're here to support women. I mean, I could understand if everything he's been through, he wouldn't be interested in doing it, but we haven't removed him from the roster. If that's what you're asking.
All right. So with that, Sparkle Gem will like give her a nod, offer her hand as a handshake, and just be like, if I could get that I'll be back in a bit for that letter. And then I'll leave town. I just have to go tell Jerk what I'm about to do.
I think you'll probably need this, and she hands you the letter of introduction that would go
Okay.
to the other performer in Tribor. She also gives you an item. It's like, I think you're probably going to need this, but you know how the organization works. We try to support each other. So if you could use this, and perhaps we could use anything you have, I'd like to make you a trade. And she offers up something that you would recognize, an item known as uh, Nightliner, which is essentially a magical eye makeup. It takes 1 minute to apply. When it's applied around the eyes, you gain dark vision. And additionally, you receive a +5 bonus on any sight-based wisdom perception checks. So this could easily be hidden in your disguise kit. These features last for 24 hours or until the eyeliner is removed. And as a note, she goes, but this isn't water. Also, it's a fairly like hand-sized jar with a brush, so you think you could probably like
Get a couple uses.
knowing how that work is, you could probably get like 20 uses out of the thing.
Okay.
She's like, but you know how we work. If you have anything that we could use, I can give this to you, and vice versa. Otherwise, this can go to someone who we could be working with.
I'll pull out my lesser wand of webs and offer that.
She makes the trade. Obviously, just like, thank you. We appreciate you keeping us strong, and we want to keep you strong. And gives you the Nightliner, and I'll add that item to your
Awesome. I
Sparkle
just
inventory.
took the wand off of my inventory, so
Cool.
um
You get a quick custom item for Nightliner. I'll do the whole homebrew thing and add it to your sheet later.
okay, manage. Yeah, add items.
She goes, you're gonna need a horse because you're gonna have to ride fast to Tribor. If you head north from Phandalin, hit the Tribor Trail, and head east, you can make it in time. The performer, she's going to feign an injury, and if you can come in as the new performer, then as they move down towards Baldur's Gate, I think that could work out.
All right. A second. There we go. It's on my inventory now. So with that, Jerk said he was staying at his girlfriend's at
I think
the
everybody
inn.
said they were staying there. You could just go back and look and see, and you'll see that they're all there.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna have to
man.
go wander around and figure out where Jerk's at.
I'm gonna go see what that widow's doing.
My goodness, Taliesin.
Before you
Dude,
figure that out,
you
where
tried
did you
to
leave me?
Didn't you-
I'm
didn't
apparently
you-
your big
didn't-
loser. Where did you leave me?
You tried to
are
spare-
with
the man
Rita at
who-
Helios.
I'm pretty sure you captured the man who killed her husband and almost sold her and her children into slavery, and you have him on
Yeah.
right now.
I'm just hanging out.
Fellow
Okay.
visitor.
Yeah.
You're the
Alright.
orange diamond.
I just danced with her. That's all I did.
So far.
I'm saying you have the man who killed her husband and kidnapped her and her children and was going to
Mhm.
sell them to slavery in captivity. That might be a way to gain her favor.
It's true.
But anyway, so
get a
Sparkle
reward?
Jam heads out. I don't know. You go back and find Jerk. I heard that.
Yeah. And then once, like, is Jerk sleeping? Is Jerk awake? Like,
He's still trying not to pee himself because he saw a dragonborn and another tiefling.
so like Sparkle Gem's going to peek in through the window, and when seeing the dragonborn, she's just going to be like, "Ugh."
Should I roll perception to see if I notice her?
Yeah.
Do you try and make it? Yeah, roll perception, see if you notice.
I'd say she's not
try to
trying
get
to
his
be like
attention anyway. Whisper
super
some thieves'
sneaky.
camp.
Yeah.
I mean beach balls.
Well, should I roll perception or
What?
should I just go?
Roll perception. See if
Roll
you notice her. Otherwise, she's got to go inside and talk to you.
Yeah, and deal with the dragonborn.
All right. Also, thank you everyone for being so patient. That's all.
Yeah,
Fair.
yeah, this is a thing.
I'm making a shopping list for next time.
I appreciate you.
Does 11 do it? Remind the window's still
Are you,
broken,
like-
so it may be cracked.
Are you tapping? Are
Yeah.
you doing anything
I
at all?
mean, I kind of would imagine I'd peek my head up and then just make like this groaning noise, just kind of like,
All
like
right. So
she's visibly uncomfortable.
you definitely see her, but also so does. Let's see. Who's got my? Let me look at my list of people with passive perceptions. Taliesin does.
Mm.
I probably don't. Azito
think-
probably doesn't.
I'm just gonna look at her.
I think
just be like-
actually everyone notices the knock and the groan, but it seems like Jerk goes outside.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the
Sparkle Gem.
window and I'm gonna just do this to everybody. I'm gonna like,
Novak, everybody.
and I'm gonna open the window and I'm gonna climb outside because that seems to be my only way of egress from the situation.
You refuse to use the door. I
Fuck
love
the door. Rogues don't use doors.
Right?
You know what? I should
it.
watch people
FYI,
do.
in game, all other characters saw the groan and the face, and you all pass a perception check.
So first thing I do when I close the door, I say, "You are not
Window.
doing the hand proud."
Yeah, well, I don't. She's just gonna like shake her head. She's like, that thing is just, it's so big.
She's cool. She's cool. Chill.
She's so big. But Jerk, I need to talk to you one-on-one. I need to leave.
Where you going?
There's a lead on Elfried. And if I act now and leave within the next hour, I might be able to get all the information we need because she may be impersonating someone.
I can't leave my family.
I understand, but if I send word asking for help, will you come? You know the signs for the hand. You know where to go in and check in and find for us.
I'll be there.
Thank you. And Sparkle Gem's going to take the staff off her back and give it to Jerk and be like, this staff is too well known. It's too identifiable. I need you to hold on to this while I'm away.
Good roll.
I can't cast.
that
This
out
thing's
loud.
trash. But I
It
take it.
gives me away. I don't care who you give it to. I can't carry it on this mission.
All right. I'll take
And
it.
I also need you to take care of my ram because I gotta go upgrade to a fucking horse.
Well, shit.
Oh, you could probably ride the ram. You could probably
Oh, I
take.
can?
Yeah. You don't.
Okay.
Oh man, I was gonna say you probably need to like get a horse off somebody else, but no, you've got a ram. You could ride the ram.
Yeah. Okay.
So I ask her, I'm like, well, what about the Yartar? Was it just Efreet?
Yeah, Elfried she acted against the order when she betrayed you and I the way she did.
Well, you and I, you're still. Last I checked, you were a lady.
They fight for a group that is looked down upon by a majority of society. They don't care what your gender is as long as you fight for our cause.
I give a little fist pump. That's still in.
Yeah, high five.
Well, yeah, how high is it going to be?
Do I have
Low
to
five.
jump?
Low five. Down low. Oh man. Oh,
I,
you guys.
I give Sparkle Gem a little hug, and I say, we're going to keep the name Sparkle Gem. We're going to keep Sparkle
Sparkle
Motion
Motion.
alive. It's going to be a thing.
I promise I'll be back.
And if you
This
don't,
is but a short trip.
I better hear from you.
Upon hearing that, Sparkle Gem's going to take a dagger out and cut off a lock of her own hair and wrap it around Jerk's wrist and tie it off like a bracelet. And just look at him in the eyes and be like, this is my promise to you that even if this life we don't meet, we will meet in the next.
Aww.
And with that, she's going to jump on her ram and wave goodbye.
I wave back and I say, see you around.
So Sparkle Gem goes off to the stables
Goes off.
at Barthen's.
Yep.
Takes her letter information and heads off for Tribor.
Yep.
That was beautiful, you guys.
It was really sweet. I applaud you guys.
Like, what do you mean you can't cast with it? You saw Holly cast today.
Yeah, right?
Magic is magic.
You can use magic items.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold a staff. It
So
requires.
yeah.
Oh, then I'll take it.
No. I think Jerk has 2 staffs in his inventory now. So you add that staff of defense to your inventory, and you debate about this later, not right
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that
like, I'm not
being
there.
said, Sparkle Gem did leave the cart that she bought for the party behind. She didn't take the cart with her. So, like, anything that was...
Because you purchased it.
I did. I paid for it in full. That is my cart.
I'm
But I'll
stunned
be
you
nice.
didn't just hook it up to the ram and take off.
With the dwarf still behind, like, inside of it. Like, yep, we're leaving.
Yeah, that's real out of character.
What?
To not take the cart and make them buy their own.
Well, no, she's in a hurry though, so she's got to jump on that
Yeah,
ram.
that's the... Yeah, she's just in a
jumped on her
hurry.
ram and she took off in the night.
Yep.
Well, I think that's a great place to end for the evening. Unless anybody's got anything they want to like work out small wise, we can do. But I think that's a wonderful way to end the session.
Oh, I think it's great.
I was gonna say I feel like anything else polluted it.
Right. So we'll come back next week where the party and some new friends and an old acquaintance and an enemy all wake up inside Holly Thornton's house. And
Wait, what happened to Glassstaff? Is he there with us?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in the house now.
Yeah,
Maybe-
and two dwarves. Like this house is packed.
Yeah, I don't
you guys
think
are like
you can't fit
No, I
any more
took the
squares
side
in
by
there.
side, kind of like. Oh wait, Godwald went to.
I was like, hey, Peter, let's take the dwarves and like go home and get some home cooked food into them because they haven't eaten well in a long time.
Yeah, that's right. So it was the only people that were at the house even were like the Zentrium members, weren't there?
Okay, so it's so then we'll pick up next session where Talia, Azita, Novak, Shirk, the doppelganger are all in Halia's house. Where's Taliesin?
Oh, he
I'm
came with us.
I'm in there.
You're in Holly's house too, and then
Yeah, I
Hubert,
brought them.
Godwald, and the Gundren and Nundro are in the Piterbottom house.
Mm-hmm.
And we have plans to meet up with Halia at light.
Yeah, you guys are gonna get back together in the morning. Just
Yep.
say where. Just determine where, and we'll have you all meet up there.
At her place before the store would normally open.
All right. So bright and early in the
Yeah.
morning, at dawn, essentially. You guys
Yep.
are gonna meet back at Halia's house. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. As Hubert and Godwald come home, Mama Piterbottom and what's the priestess Timora's name?
The priestess.
Yeah,
That's her name.
Sister Gariel. Like excited to see you return after you said you were going to Lost Mine, and I want to ask all about what happened there, and we can we'll start the role playing off with that.
Yeah,
in the
I'm
morning, and then
as
you guys get back.
exasperated. I'd probably just
Perfect.
try and divert all their care onto the dwarves and get to bed.
Alright. Right.
All right. Well, that's it. Say goodnight, internet.
Cool.
Good
Night.
night.
Drink water.
Good night,
Good
internet.
night, internet.